the country. So
we don't want to suffer from it though.
Okay.
When you look at that,
You done
we can't blame
for
him.
letting me know
When you
that.
look at that,
Okay.
go back to the black,
All right.
black church.
We go back
Go back
and
to the black
keep going.
family.
Yeah, y'all keep this discussion going. I
When
got
you
to
look
think
at
I
the
got
black
it
family,
working.
I'm gonna take young girls in a black family. Most likely, a little young girl is most likely to get raped by a family member than an out.
That's what white folks too.
No,
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
not. We're not talking about white people. I'm talking
But
black right now.
I gotta talk about human. I'm talking about human
we
affairs.
let's be realistic because we gotta still dive in this subject
Okay.
because in order for us to fix us,
Yeah.
we have to figure out where we went wrong. A little black girl is most likely to get raped by a family member than an outside person. You know what the family tell that little girl? What do you think the family tell that little girl?
I don't know. I haven't been in that.
If she say, well, such and such did something, they tell her to be quiet. Don't say nothing.
I'm gonna say this. Let's go back.
Y'all go back to Africa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying go back to start that conversation
Which
over,
one?
but whatever y'all was talking about what you know. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go back to what you said about this.
But you got to talk up. We can't hear you.
Okay.
All of a sudden now you're gonna get all calm. Yo,
No,
don't get calm in there.
I'm not getting calm.
Well,
What I'm
this,
trying to say though, this is
yeah.
the thing she said. Most black young ladies get raped more than white Hispanic. But really, you gotta understand something. Let's go back to slavery, where we were made to have
rape each
sex
other.
without.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. See,
Well, they had a bull. They had bulls.
We were raised. We were raised back.
But do you think
That's the
I'm
DNA.
trying-
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying-
right.
I understand what you're saying, but don't you? If we was do y'all agree or not agree that we was the first humanity on this planet?
No, but
Yes or no?
I gotta address one thing at a time.
Okay, but
You go from one thing to another.
no,
We have not addressed the one rape thing, and then you go back to this other
Yeah,
humanity.
no. I'm
So
asking because I was finna make a point with it.
You got the Indian.
I was finna make a point with it. If we was the first people, the first humanity on this earth, how somebody treating us something if we ain't did it before they did it and taught them?
Slavery taught blacks, had blacks to do things with each other, and that was their thing of enjoyment, and they got a kick out of that, and that's what started a lot of stuff. And then it got so bad to where the white woman, think about it, in slavery
started loving us.
wanted. There you go, and then you started having mixed kids.
I think y'all stuck in slavery.
Yeah,
We talking about way before
No,
slavery.
I'm just going on
Yeah,
this. Something coming up.
It's like y'all stuck in slavery.
Then we had mixed.
All right.
Then we had.
Okay. Now
You heard the same. You heard this
discussion again.
and it's happening right now. If you look at it.
All right.
They said the whole world will be mixed.
In 50.
In
In 2050, yeah.
The whole world.
And that's
will be
why.
mixed.
That's why. That's
What
why.
we
he
saying
is
is
right
the
here.
Muslims
That's why you got we talking about
No, we're
black
talking
and
about
white,
statistics.
Hispanic and black, white,
Yeah,
everything.
it's
And these
2050.
kids, most you look at basketball.
Yeah.
You look at basketball.
It's all mixed.
Most of those players you see out there
Mixed.
are mixed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything is mixed now.
The whole
Everything
world.
is mixed.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it was already printed that it was going to be like that.
Mhm.
And in the end,
Program.
in the
Program.
end,
It
in
was
the end,
program, right?
yeah, in the end. But see, we can't keep jumping like I'm like him. We can't keep jumping one subject to another. I was trying to clear up the thing you said about. But now you know me. I'm not that deep as probably you or her or anybody else. I just told a friend of mine. I said, man, that man got so much money. You with me?
That's right.
And he most of his computer company, he can buy into anything.
Who
he
is that
wants
man?
to.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Call names.
Okay, Elon Musk. And I really feel this for a fact. Just like he tried to buy off everything else.
Right. Oh,
He gonna continue to try to do that. Buy off everything else. But guess what? He got kicked this time.
yeah, he got kicked.
He got kicked real
He got
good
hit.
this time.
Hoof kick.
Now what that said was,
Vulnerable.
people are coming to themselves. They're coming to themselves now. At first, they were thinking Trump was gonna do all these good things. Oh man, we got a strong, we gonna do this, he gonna do that. He got the hip hop guys, like go back to hip hop. He got all of hey, gold, let me give y'all some gold and tennis shoes. You know, he just went on into their flavor. You know, Stephen A said flavor. He went right off into the flavor of every. Now this bad talking he did, because you know what? What was the biggest conversation when rappers came out? What they were saying. Kill the police, do this, that. You with me? So he went on that plane. You with me? He started calling everybody names. He didn't care who it was. He could do it, can't nobody else do it. You know, and the younger people, don't get me wrong, but what she's saying, They went for that, man. The
Y'all
younger
gotta start
people
saying
went
the
for that.
young. This is what I don't like about what the older conversations is, and this is what a lot of younger people at my circle, y'all stuck in slavery. We don't.
Give me that.
We past slavery. We look at hold on. We look at it like we look at it
I'm not
like
stuck in prayer.
No, I was-
every day.
no, but hold on.
I'm talking.
We look at it like that's the past.
Yeah, but I want to say when you talk about
Yeah,
being
but
raped.
and then y'all and then
Yeah.
when y'all
So
hold
then,
on.
so then what you're saying
Hold-
about rape
you
is
gotta
the
look-
past too, though.
No, you gotta. It's still going on today. You gotta listen
Well,
to
slavery
this.
still going on today.
Listen, I'm saying y'all not
Okay.
listening.
Okay.
Yeah, that even went on in the
Y'all
white
don't-
families.
y'all-
back in the day, that even went on.
And then
So
I
the
feel
white
like
families
this.
was doing the same thing.
I feel like this.
You know?
Most older people feel like you've been through this, went through that. And y'all feel like, well, the younger people such and such, and y'all need to realize
I ain't been.
when we
no.
say the same thing about older people, like,
But let me tell you,
like,
let's
I
go
don't
back.
feel that way.
No, let's
no,
go
I
back.
know you might not, but
Yeah, but let's
most
go-
older people you have a conversation with,
yeah, but
they
what the older people are saying is not that. What they're saying, they ain't went through shit.
yeah.
A lot of us, I know I did.
And what we
You
saying,
probably did.
and what we
Wait, but I'm
saying,
saying
I went through a lot.
our ancestors.
But everybody
wait, I'm
has-
going
Not
back
like,
to my-
yeah, but
Everybody- but what we
I'm trying to
saying
get
is,
to, you got to get to the root of the tree. If you're gonna talk
what
about
we
the
looking
tree.
at it is y'all, what y'all,
What's the root of the
y'all
tree?
plan didn't work.
Let me ask you a question.
That's how we, and
What's
we
the,
gonna be,
what's,
gonna
the
be
root,
real
what's the root of the tree?
to destroy and elevate.
Wait, just
You gotta destroy it.
yeah, but what's the root?
You,
What
the
I'm
root,
saying-
the root is
No,
is
even to
constant.
slavery. What is it?
So
These
Trump
people,
says he's ready to slap a 50% tariff
on
on
China. Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I see that. Well, no, so can I
Because
interest
you
can I just your sir?
hold on,
Can
you
I just
now,
see what you got to say?
because
Okay.
you still haven't told me what he did.
No, I did tell you what he did.
You didn't tell me.
No, I sat right
What did
there.
you do?
I sat down right there and said, I do not know. So, but since you know, you tell me what he
You
what he-
reversed
isn't that
the-
something?
No, you reversed
You
the-
said I gaslighted.
No, no,
I
no,
told you I did
you
not
reversed
know.
the question.
You reversed
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you reversed the
You
question.
reversed the question.
But
You
her to
never
tell you
told
because
me.
you didn't know.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
You saying you didn't know.
So how can I give you an answer?
Yeah, you reversed that question.
How can I give you an answer
Yeah.
if I don't know something?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
how?
I'm sitting up there since you know the answer,
Hold
give
on.
me the answer
No,
so
no,
I know.
no, because you was the advocate of he turned it up.
Advocate.
Hold on. You saying that he doing this and doing that. All I want to know is what did he do?
So what I'm saying to
So
you,
you asked the
when
question
you
and
asked
he
me a
never
question,
He never
You-
answered.
no,
That's what you're saying.
no, I did answer.
Oh,
you
you
didn't
did?
like
No,
the
you,
answer.
no, you asked me. You talking
No,
about
I
asked me.
said I did not know.
Yeah, that's when he reversed
And then I
your
said,
question
but
for
since
you
you
to tell
know,
him.
you tell me.
That's not. But I'm gonna tell you something.
I
I
know,
studied.
but-
Listen,
no,
I
he-
studied. I'm in law school right now. I'm in pre-law. It's my third year in pre-law, right?
You
So the
I
thing,
graduated
the thing about it
science.
is, we are taught these switcheroo conversations. We're taught how to
No.
hold on. We're taught how to avoid answers.
I'm not avoiding anything.
You know what I'm saying? All I asked you was,
Yeah, it's your question.
Yes.
what did say? I just
And
need you
my
to tell me.
answer was this right here. I do not know.
Period.
So,
Okay,
so
that-
what I'm
that's-
saying to you,
that's it.
so what
Yeah.
I'm saying to you is, since you know the
You want to let
answer,
him know.
But
Yeah.
that's not.
give me the answer
That's-
so I'll know.
That's
So,
not-
and
but
since
that's-
you, what I'm saying,
So she's
since-
the one that asked the
so,
question.
Right.
but also since we all trying to help each other,
Right.
I need to have that knowledge so I'll
That's
know.
right. So
No,
you're
I want you. If you're telling me this person doing this and it's not working out, such okay, what are they doing that's not working out?
What I'm
What are they doing?
What
You
I'm
can't-
saying,
something wrong.
You
What
can't
I'm-
exactly. You
what I'm
can't tell me
saying-
you don't know it.
what
If you telling me,
what I'm saying is this right here is that okay. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just realized that I don't know. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is
Okay.
that since you know the
Okay.
answer, I want to know the
He
answer.
wanted you
Well,
to tell him.
I can't give you an answer to
Okay.
something that he's doing wrong because
So then
a
why
lot of
we
stuff
speaking
I
on it?
agree with.
So then why we speaking on it?
But he's saying,
Because what
But-
you
but-
saying,
but he's saying you asked a question that you don't know.
but I know
That's
the
what it
question.
sounds.
But the
You
thing,
know
no,
that-
how you get-
this the thing. He asked me.
Mhm.
I asked him, what is he doing wrong? I never said one time he was doing something wrong.
You never did. But he never answered your question
Exactly.
because he said
He don't know.
No, he didn't.
I did not
So-
say that.
So
I said
no,
what I
He
said.
said no.
Yeah, I said I don't know.
I got the whole thing. I'm the mediator of
Yeah.
what you want to call me right now.
Okay.
Okay. She asked the question. You couldn't answer the question because you didn't know.
Correct. And
So
I
what you
realized I
I
realized
realized
I
you
didn't know.
didn't know. So you turned it around and she asked the question.
I did not turn
Well,
it
her-
around. She felt that I turned it around because I already answered the question.
Yeah, but you
She
turned,
said yes or no.
yeah,
Right?
now listen, no, tell what happened.
Okay.
she asked you a question.
Uh-huh.
You told her
Yeah.
that you didn't know the answer to
Right.
that question.
Correct.
But you turned the question around back to her.
Well,
For her, wait there, because you wanted her to tell you because you didn't know. You
right.
with me? Now you're looking for her to tell you something that she should have known.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yes, right. But
So
she,
now, do you know the question he's asking?
I don't know his question.
The question that you asked.
My question
Do you
to
know
him
that?
is, what is he doing wrong?
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
did you know the answer to the question you asked him? That's what we said.
I don't have an answer for his question. We it's a debatable question. I think different than what he think of the situation. So you wouldn't have to ask me that question because the question would be to me is, what did you feel like he's doing right?
But let me do it like this.
So that it would be two.
I'd like to address that.
Let me do it like this. No, wait, let me do it like this. If I'm going to ask somebody something that I don't know, I don't need to ask the person something that I don't have the answer to.
That's where I'm coming from.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my point right there.
Let's get that out of the way.
Is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Don't speak on something
let's
that
get
you
out
don't
of
have the answer for.
But
So now I'm gonna
Hold on.
So I do have the answer.
Hold on.
So
No. We gonna get this correct. Let's get this correct.
Okay, please do.
I asked you,
Yeah.
what do you, because you've been petitioning since you dropped in the seat.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue
You've been
to.
petitioning.
Uh-huh.
I said, what do you feel like he's doing wrong?
And let me
And you
address it.
said you don't know.
Let me address this like I need to address it, okay? Since I sat down and petitioned, do you realize that if I say the sky is green, you're gonna say it's blue? If I say that this is wrong, you're gonna say it's right. If I say that this is right, you're gonna say that this is wrong. Everything that I have sat down and said, or my opinion was, you was opposite on that.
Yeah, I don't
hold
agree.
on. But I said, so what can't I have sat down? At some point, we got to get on the same page.
Mhm.
So everything that I sat down, you have disagreed with everything, and I have not disagreed with not one thing. I said, you have a valid opinion. So as I'm sitting up there, what is the point on us sitting down and discussing something if nothing that I say is valid and everything that I say is wrong and everything that you say it's a matter of I respect your opinion.
No, we're not gonna do that. Hold on. We're not gonna do that.
But that's what
No.
Am I right or wrong?
Hold on.
Please,
Hold on.
Please.
No. You said
I tried to reverse, but don't nobody hear me.
I asked the question
Sure.
of what you sat down and talked about.
Sure.
When you sat down, if it's something that I agree with, I'm gonna agree with it. If it's something that I don't agree with, I don't agree with it. I'm a rebel as such.
It's okay.
So what I'm saying is, you sat down and he doing this, he doing.
Right.
Am I right or wrong?
I can address that.
He doing this, he doing that. So my question
you
was,
asked me a question, can I
and
answer
you
it?
said you didn't know.
Right. Thank you.
Now wait, she get with us now. Now she's saying she asked you a question, and you said you didn't know. But now here's what it is right here with a loophole. Then he reversed your question because since you asked the question, he's feeling like, well, she knows the answer to the question. He didn't know. So the only way he's gonna know got to come
He
from
should have
you.
asked, what do you feel like he's doing right? My question to him was, what do he feel like he's doing wrong? Since he was against
so
it.
let me
let me
reverse it. Well, what do you feel like he's doing right?
You don't feel like that?
You just got to say this. I'm just saying to you. I'm asking to you. What do you feel like he's doing right?
When you go back to these cities, even when you go back to the cities and the states, we sit here talking about money. He pulling all this, but the reality of it is, these citizens ain't even seen this money.
I'm asking for the answer.
No, I'm going to give you different scenarios of what's going on.
No, I don't want different scenario. I just need the answer.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When you look at the cities, even as far as the black community, the black community, they say the federal give the black community, say just Dallas alone, $40 billion. But the people still going through poverty. You still got people on the ground. These people, veterans. Why do veterans have to be on the ground? Why they not getting medication? The city, we gotta be realistic. The city have more money than they can ever handle. So the thing about it is, what happened to the money?
Okay, can I answer that without no interruption?
I know you're alone with it.
Can I give you the answer to that?
You got the answer to where the money is?
Can I give you the answer to that part that you said?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you said that where's the money that the federal government gives?
No, I was creating it as an example as a federal.
Okay, we got to get the money. First of all, the federal government does enact the money to the Veteran Administration, right? And where's the money going at? Okay. First of all, there's this thing called Project 25, right? Hold up, right?
Yeah.
And in that Project 25 right now that's going on with all the bills. In fact, he has fired how many veteran administration and how many cut corners has he cut the meat off where it's come down Medicare, Veteran Administration programs, and all that. That came out of his administration under the Project 25, right? Whether he also campaigned and said, "Oh, well, I don't know nothing about Project 25." Now we know that everything that he talked about that he did not know, he does know about Project 25. Just as you brought up that thing on the phone earlier, why don't you take that same thing and do your research and pop it up like you showed me and see exactly what he said on Project 25 if he's not doing what Project 25 is at. So the answer that's happening, the reason why they don't have the money is because him and Elon Musk,
That's bullshit.
Dodge has went up
That's
there and,
bullshit.
oh my God.
He been in office. You telling me he been in office over? He been in office over 50 years. He been in office over 50 years.
What is this happening right now? His policies are causing us to lose how many trillions of dollars right now in 3 days?
You
That's
not
a
listening.
fact.
You not
No,
listening.
I'm going on facts.
First of all, okay, well, we gonna sit here and talk about the Federal Reserve. Let's go back to 1920.
No, let's stick on this project.
It's the same thing.
You're gaslighting.
No, I'm not gaslighting. Because hold on. Hold on. You can't. You debating. You can't be long with it because we got to go back to this 2025. That the original copy of that was called the Agenda 21.
No, let's
That's
go
what
back
the
to what
original
you
copy.
asked. That's not what you
No,
asked.
no.
You talked about the federal.
You still haven't told me where the money went.
I just told you where the money went.
You don't even know where the money went.
I just told you where it went.
You didn't tell me.
I told you. No,
You have politicians.
You are
You have
pleasing
business
the answer.
corporations that's
You're
stealing
not.
the money.
I know.
Period.
You are diverting the question that you gave, and I gave you
No.
the answer
You-
within
you
Project
didn't give me
25. Yes, I did.
You
Yes, I did.
Come
I
on,
told
man.
you those.
No. This money been stolen for years.
No, man. No.
So you don't think people? You don't think
You just got to. We're talking about now. We're not talking about years. You keep on saying, let's not
it
go
all
back to the
comes?
past.
No, it all comes back to. You think this
just
shit
got to
happened
saying we
yesterday?
can't go to the past.
I
We
said
need to live
slavery.
present, and then all of a sudden
Slavery.
we're going back to the past.
Slavery. I said slavery.
Well, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about what this man is doing right now.
The money is missing.
I'm talking about who he's doing right
the
now.
money is missing. The money
He's
been missing.
making it miss.
The money been missing.
From
The
who?
money been
From
missing.
who? From who?
The money been
From who?
the money missing from the citizens. The
From
money
who?
missing from the states, the cities. It's been missing.
From who?
The money's been missing.
From who?
What if I tell both of y'all something?
Okay.
This whole thing was planned out before the race was even around. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is
Dwayne, am I
wrong
right or
way.
wrong? The money been missing.
From where?
The money been missing.
But
A lot of money missing.
from where?
And what? And did
From where?
it start when he got in office?
Mhm.
Did the money start missing when he got in office, or it been missing?
Women.
Exactly. The money been missing.
Okay, so the money been missing, right? So who got the money that's been missing?
The people that sit up there in them suits and ties.
So you
In your city halls and stuff. That's what I'm
so you saying that Trump don't have anything to do with what's going on right now?
I'm gonna tell you what in my view of it is, he went back and they went back and counted the money. Hold on, and then when you, it's like a checkbook. When you show what you spent the money on, first of all, you got a LGBT business that done gained $300 million over the cup. How? What is that organization doing to the point that you done gave it hundreds of millions of dollars?
So my question is this right here: what is he doing for us now?
What I'm saying is,
That's my question.
This is you. Have you ever heard of dummy organizations?
Of course, I've heard of dummy organ.
Do they not? Hold on. Do they not money laundering through dummy organizations?
All I'm asking is, what is he doing for us now? It's very simple. What is he doing
What
for us?
I'm saying it's a lot of exposure. A lot of exposure.
Dwayne,
And we
can I ask
so
you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
I'm asking you a question. What do you feel that Trump is doing wrong?
Everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What I'm
But not
saying-
everything.
I don't disagree with everything you're doing wrong.
Let me say this.
You know, I don't disagree
Let
with
me
everything
let me
you're
say
wrong.
this. He's done a lot to damage the future of the United States.
Right.
However,
Mhm.
Right.
There are, and I don't like him to the point.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that's real clear.
Yeah.
But some things that he has done,
I like.
then and to be fair, I am a very fair judgment of people.
Thank you.
Now, here's the deal. You can do 100% of work, and I can still accept you if you did 10% of something that was good, but only of that 10%. Now, I'm going to hate you about the 90%. Okay, so I don't give a shit about all the stuff that's going through. He's putting everybody through, all of the Social Security checks, all of the stuff that's going backwards, all of this prejudice stuff that they're doing, the way they are conducting it. But he has done one or two good things that will benefit us down the road.
Yes.
But he's done more damage than good.
Let me ask you another question, sir. Since I have sat down there, I have discussed about the solution, about the problem, and how we're gonna go about it. Now, when you are elected of the highest land in the world, right? You're no longer Democrat, and you're no longer Republican, and you're no longer independent, you're no longer gay, you're no longer straight, you're no longer black, you're no longer white, you're no longer green, or none of that. You know what you are? You are the president for all of us. It doesn't supposed to be a president that benefit some of us, right? Since I've been sitting up there, I've been trying to find the solution. All I am saying is this right here. I can't go back on 13,000 years ago because I wasn't back to 13,000 years ago.
Exactly.
I cannot go back to yesterday because yesterday I can never go back. All I can do is go by the present on what's going on right now. And what's going on right now is exactly what I talked about, what I predicted, what I felt that was going to go on today. And what that situation is the man is a liar. He sit up there and said he don't know what Project 25 is. Am I right or wrong? And he did. He said that he wasn't going to mess with Medicare, Medicaid, and the veterans and file. And what he do? He got a person right now with Elon Musk called Doge. Anything of diversity, inclusion. What is it? Diversity, equality, and inclusion. Is that correct?
That don't benefit.
Is that hold on?
Not
It is
benefit
benefited white people,
No.
more white people than it's benefited this. What I'm saying, when you sit up there and fire a person qualified and replace that qualified person with a person that looks like him that is less qualified, then there's problems. Like, for example, the 4-star general, right? There was a 4-star general got fired, right?
Hey,
why did he get fired?
because he was about to expose some information.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why he got fired. He got fired because there was some snaky stuff going on. He was about to expose that he was going to be a whistleblower on a certain case that would expose so many elite people that was actually donors to the people that was the president at that time. He got fired because of that. He didn't get fired because he did nothing wrong. He was about to be he was a whistleblower.
What was that?
In which one?
That he was going to expose
Under Obama?
No. Do you know what he was going to expose?
No, he was going to expose the different stuff with the Russians. He was going to expose the different stuff, how it came out with the money with Haiti and all that different type of stuff, and how he was called to do certain things. He was going to expose it all. He was going to expose it to the point he had to take his family underground.
So let me ask you a question then, because I didn't know this is new to me. And that's great information. I appreciate that. So, if he was going to expose something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not do just like all these generals and all these other people do once they get out of office? They expose them anyways.
Because most time people get exposed, they end up dead. That's like a Navy SEAL that was going to expose some information that was working as a chef for Obama. That was trained. He was trained to swim, but he drowned by the house.
Yeah, but my thing is this right here. If somebody has knowledge that you have to possibly expose some detrimental stuff, just by that notion, why wouldn't you expose? I would, for me,
You'll be dead.
well, I'm saying I would put it out there for insurance. See what I'm saying?
You'll be dead.
Well, I mean, well,
We gotta be realistic. You know, a lot. You and I know
Yeah.
that a lot of whistleblowers lose their life. They lose their life. They get killed. If you have the wrong people in position, you go die.
Let me ask y'all this. Okay. Listen to me. Do you believe that people can get the wrong advice?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do
Let's
all the
stay,
time.
let's stay right there. Do you believe if someone is listening to somebody else, this person is saying this and this, it don't have to be right.
Mhm.
It could bring you down. Let me tell you what I'm getting at here. Trump is going down. He's not going up.
He not gonna go down. I'm
Yeah,
telling
he's
you.
gonna go down. It just is. He's going down. Trust me.
I'm telling you, he not
No,
gonna go.
he is going down.
Who gonna take him?
Well,
Because everybody
Wrong.
dirty.
wait, listen. Wrong information.
Yeah.
Right now, he's taking advice from somebody. We all know who, and we leave that alone. And it's going bad. But this person that's feeding his head up with all this shit, and this ain't shit that Trump just thinking about doing.
How long
No.
Trump been in? How long
Wait,
Trump
wait,
been in
wait.
politics?
Listen. Shit, I guess we could say how many years? Because when he first ran against,
No, that's not the first time he's been in politics.
oh, he probably been in politics a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
He been
have.
in politics.
Well,
You know, Trump was
but-
best friends with Ronald Reagan.
Wait, I know this, but let me tell you something. Now, his father. Well, anyway, let me go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand what I'm going to say now. But we, like he said, we need to talk about what's going on now, what's happening now. And when I say he's going down, he is going down. And see, he's been getting the wrong information because the way he's doing everything, go back to what Dwayne was saying, is wrong. And he's done some. He's done some things that. Now, the only thing I can say he's done good. If you're going after the bad guys, fine.
Right.
But if you're going to go after the good guys with the bad guys, that's wrong. Listen to me, what I'm saying, man, because it's real deep. It ain't that deep to understand. If this man was just taking the criminals and locking them up, that's fine. But he's taking innocent people that's not in that bag,
So who innocent?
that's not doing that.
Who did he take that's innocent?
This guy right there, he's trying to get back in.
What's his name?
That boy name that they talking about him. They gave him so many times. The judge gave him enough time to bring him back here.
Oh, the immigrant.
The attention people, yeah, they're not. They're going back to that
Yeah,
conversation
they
earlier.
took a person,
They're not
illegally,
going back.
and then they don't want to try to go pick them up.
Yeah, but they're not going back right. That's what we were talking about earlier now.
So y'all
He's
don't
not
want
doing
y'all
this
want
right.
the illegals cleared. If you
No,
illegal.
My answer to this question right here is this right here. Is that, let me be very trite. I want Donald Trump to do everything that he's saying that he doing. Do every damn thing. You know why?
Mhm.
Because I know without a shadow of a doubt, if he continues to do everything that he doing, he gonna go down. That's my opinion.
Oh, no, he's going
You
down.
know, so the thing about it is right here is you cannot go. It's like Iceland, Panama, my country. Well, if you don't do what we said, well, we'll just go ahead and invade you. That's the very same principle.
We
Right,
need to
look.
be hearing this right now.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah.
See, this boy here
he the
is
devil.
using. No,
He using Trump to
He
get the
using
guys to
Trump.
strip. Yeah.
See, he wants to. This boy here, he wants the whole goddamn world. This man here. Not only what he's fighting for, he wants America if he can get it. Let me tell you something. Trump is right under his sleeve, man. He's got right now. You see him doing top of them.
I can't. Can you turn it up, please?
Because
No, it's right there. The
Yeah,
thing is right there.
here's the deal here. And I've been wanting to see this today because they was meeting today. See how he's talking? Now, last time we seen some talking like that, it was coming from Trump to your boy.
And we're going to also eliminate.
What you talking about? The one that tried to bully?
Trade barriers.
He ain't
You
bullying
talking
this guy.
Zelensky was trying to bully Trump. Well, Trump bullied Zelensky.
Right.
Yeah, but he was trying to bully.
Who was trying
You
to?
can't, you can't sit at my table and tell me what I'm gonna do.
The rest of it.
You talking about the Ukrainian? Who
Yeah.
was telling
And-
Trump?
but you see what he did.
Listen.
He turned it back around.
Yeah, but listen, y'all. One minute.
Tariffs on things, and, you know, I'm a free
Who do you
trade.
think running this thing?
And free trade has to keep fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you've put forward, Mr. President, we are going to eliminate the tariffs and rapidly. I had the opportunity to speak to Secretary Humphrey yesterday.
So basically,
Talked about how
he gonna say,
affect this,
you have no tariffs,
solution.
but
Very quickly,
but
we're not talking about.
everybody else has tariffs.
we're not talking
Hey, what's up, man?
Everybody ain't knowledge. Jerry, look, I've been trying to, you know, that.
Everybody had tariffs, but Israel
Everybody don't have tariffs.
No,
Like everybody don't have
Listen,
tariffs.
y'all,
Tariffs
we
is
better-
just a tax.
I'm trying to show y'all
I know.
one thing.
Look at where we seen that everybody don't have.
Yeah,
it.
I want
Like
y'all.
everybody don't,
Hey,
then upgrade them like.
He tariffed everybody. Trump tariffed
Not every, not
listen,
every.
y'all
Oh,
missing.
yeah, you're right. He
Not
didn't tariff the penguin
Yeah,
out.
y'all not looking at the picture right. I've been waiting to see this. See how Trump is sitting there
Yeah.
like a puppet, right? See this man? Wait. See this man here?
Every day, they're enacting.
Watch it. Trump ain't gonna watch this. Just watch this.
Oh,
Look
well,
at this. You looked at the other meeting. Now look at this one.
What you talking with the other presidents?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at the difference. Yeah, look at this.
Help us get a deal, adapt 25, we're working now on another deal that we hope will succeed. And we're committed to getting all the hostages out, but also eliminating the evil tyranny of Hamas in Gaza and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice, to go wherever they want. And they should have that choice. And the president put forward a vision, a bold vision, which we discussed as well, including the countries that might be amenable and are amenable to accepting Palestinians have their free choice if they choose to go.
Who
there.
meeting you think this is?
The second thing we discussed,
Me?
the hostages. We also discussed the situation in Syria. We've had neighborly relations with Turkey that have deteriorated, and we don't want to see Syria being used by anyone, including Turkey, as a base for attacking Israel. Turkey is a country that has a great relationship with the United States. The president has a relationship with the leader of Turkey. We discussed how we can avoid this conflict in a variety of ways, and I think we can have a better interlocutor than the president of the United States for this purpose. And of course, we also discussed Iran. Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons. If it can be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya, I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons. That's the end of my speech.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can
What did
avoid
he
it.
say wrong?
But it's getting
What
to
did he
be
say right?
very dangerous territory.
That he was having a meeting?
And hopefully those talks will be successful, and I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. We hope that's going to happen. And we had just a lot of good talks on a lot of things. I appreciate very much what you said about the tariffs. We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. We can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's all because of the people that sat in the seat right here, not your seat, but this seat. They allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things, many other things. I mean, look at what's happened with
the greatest
our last
president
president, where he
is the
allowed
worst.
millions of people to come into our country with an open border. Who would want an open border? How stupid was that? But he allowed millions and millions of people, and of the millions, and I think it was 21 million people, but let's say 3 of them were serious criminals, serious murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from jails. All the jails emptied out right into our country, right along the open border on Mexico, generally the Mexico. Okay, they came in from Canada too, by the way, a lot. But generally speaking, on the southern border. And what a shame it is that we are now working very hard to get them out, get the criminals
That's
out,
one
get the
thing
murderers out,
That's what
the
they
drug dealers,
son.
the mentally insane.
Right.
But then they dropped the mentally insane in our country too. And this was all done by the Biden administration. It's a disgrace that we have to work so hard. And then we have judges that try and protect these people, but they didn't protect us when the people were being let in. But to get them out is never easy with these people. So I think we're doing a great job. The border is the best it's ever been. It's even as strong as it was. I had a great solid border. I think it might even be tougher right now and stronger. So people are coming into our country, but they're coming in legally. We have a legal process, and we have that moving along properly because we need people to come into our country. And we want people that can love our country and cherish our country. So that's where we are. And with that, any questions?
To the markets today, and would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiation?
Well, we're not
Good question.
looking at that. We have many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and those should be fair deals. And in certain cases, they're going to be paying substantial tariffs. There'll be fair deals. As you know, I spoke this morning with the Prime Minister of Japan, and we had a very good conversation. They're coming. And I said, one thing, you're going to have to open up your country because we sold no cars, like 0 cars in Japan. And they sold millions of cars into our country. They don't really take our agriculture, a little bit of it just to keep us slightly happy, but they don't take.
We sold super cars, they sold millions of
We have a great
millions.
relationship with Japan, we're gonna keep it.
So
that
should
way.
they take us more?
We had other countries are coming in. With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what the ridiculous tariffs are.
Where did Panama go?
I don't know. You know, he had the zoom.
Yes, no, you're right in there. Come on in there. Come on, Darren.
Zoom.
Y'all get this thing going in there.
wrapped it up.
No, let's sit on back down. Let's start now.
Finished.
Got him in that hot seat.
You was
Got
gone.
him in that
Don't
hot
worry about
seat.
that.
Mediator.
Don't worry about that.
Y'all don't worry about it. I'm on another page
Got
now.
him in that hot seat.
We're talking about another page now, man.
Got him in that hot seat.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the hot seat.
Yeah.
I'm in the brown seat now. That's New York right there. Can I get New York? Can I get New York?
Come on,
New
you
York, man. I gotta get
Y'all start no conversation off and then they gonna stop and get cold.
No, he don't got cold feet on him.
He got cold
He
feet.
don't got cold feet on him.
No, we were looking at this here.
But don't be looking at that right there. That ain't gonna change.
Well, I mean, we had to. We left the man up. We just looking at this here.
Yeah, that.
And just like
Y'all,
that.
we live. Y'all can't have no dead
You remember-
space. Come on, Darren.
you
Come on,
remember-
get one of them hot
you remember-
seats.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, all right, man.
How you, sir? Good to see you again.
You know?
Yeah.
Guys, how
I
you
leave,
doing?
I leave out of here to go talk to the
Good
people and
Panama said he in the hot seat. He don't want to talk about it.
oh, he gonna talk about Panama.
He said he don't want to talk about
Come on, man. Yeah. All right.
it.
I'm gonna fix this.
Man, hey,
That's why I say he tried to
Give me the
leave.
remote. Give me the
All
remote,
I
baby.
can do is swallow spit.
Yeah.
And talk shit.
That's it.
That's it. How about that?
Now, go ahead.
Okay, so what
Now
we
let's
do-
start back from where y'all really started
But-
from. Wait a minute. Y'all said about Africa. Where to start back with that?
I
About-
asked him,
about
well,
that.
did he think we all was African?
Go get it going.
The answer to your question is
Well, ask the question again and then go.
Do you feel like that we are all from Africa?
I feel that we are all from this world. Ain't that what I said right earlier, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said. So I cannot say something. I can't answer that question that you asked me because it's so broad. I don't know where we from because I wasn't there in the beginning. All I can know is what these people told me and how I feel, what people tell me. So in order for me to get the right answer, I have to do my homework, and the homework that I have done, I still ain't clear on where I come from. So I can't explain where you come from or anybody else because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I know is I'm here and I feel that I'm way better off than the 99% of the people that are not free thinkers. You know what I mean?
History-wise,
You know.
history-wise, where have you heard that we were from?
History-wise.
History-wise.
History-wise, and based on DNA and scientific facts that said scientific facts, is that we all derive at one point when we was together, because I know that the earth has split. So if you put the earth together on the Pangea map, which that means one map, that you could, if the split part of America and Africa was together. So what I'm trying to say is right now, the predominant pieces of the DNA have stuck and drifted off in the African side than the Western Hemisphere. Even though there's remnants of our DNA has always been here. So the answer to your question has always been here.
Well, now let me ask him. Don Washington, he wants to know what is the topic of our conversation. Let's put a topic on this show.
I would say just the think tank.
Yeah, it is basically going back to the foundation of Black people. What led up to what's going on today? What happened between them times? And that because everything goes together. Politics, everything that we see from prison, schools, all this is connected. Nothing in the world is not connected. Everything is connected. Even sports is connected to politics.
But then we were brought here. Did we hear that?
Yeah,
So
but
let's talk about that.
no, we
been brought here, right?
yeah, but I don't know who brought us here.
So I think there's always like anything else. People in power do certain things to stay in power. And when you have wronged, just like I feel that we have wronged our own humanity to get to the point where we're at. That's what I believe in. It hasn't always been this way because we hear remnants that we were kings and queens and all that, right? What did those kings and queens do so wrong to get us to this point? Now, if we have not learned that from what we done and we handed off to the people that are in power now that don't look like us, and we see that they're not doing right and wrong, what I feel that just like the world had split up and separated and all that, it's going to get a point in time that, they're going to get what they got going as well. So, it can't always just be about Black folks and white folks and this folks and that folks. Unfortunately, it is. And I think that it begins with us. What are we doing for us in terms of the community that goes back to Africa? When you go to Africa, like I've been to Africa, so I have the right to speak on Africa. When I went to Africa, when I landed in Africa in Douala, in Cameroon, the first thing that happened to me, there was something so powerful in my body that almost broke up. I broke down, and I just broke down and cried because I felt all my ancestors. I felt for the first time in my life, this is where I was from. Now, whether my mom was telling me that, I seen trees that were older than this country, bigger than this whole building. It seemed like, the circumference. It was just huge. Everything that was there was just so strong and dominant. So, if I had to say where we come from, that'd be definitely a place that we come from. Also, if you're an artist like myself, you see all this on my, I know it's this thing called hue. Hue means color and man. So if you put those two root words together, it says human. So there's nothing that you can get out of white. If you paint white, you can't get nothing out of that. But you can get every color out of Black. And we do also understand the only thing that makes the mitochondria, which only one person carries a mitochondria, and that leads back to our DNA all the way to first man, and that's the Black woman. Nothing carries the mitochondria. Melanin, nothing.
Well, have you ever experienced, for me working on a job at the airport, it was an African man, right? Okay, I call him brother man. Okay, you told me, I'm not your brother.
Yeah.
I'm not your brother. Now, I'm gonna leave it right there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, no, I understand.
I'm being I said, hey man, I said,
well, there's an answer to that.
He said he wasn't my brother. In other words, he separated himself from me.
Well, this. Now, let me give you an answer.
Have you ever experienced that?
Well, I've experienced this because I'm an immigrant.
Okay.
I come from Panama, and I've never heard this word, the N word, ever until I came here. I never understood. So when people from other countries come here, the first thing that they're taught is that black people, black Americans
Mhm.
are lazy.
Who's teaching them
They're
that?
lowest tier.
Exactly.
They're taught this.
Who's teaching?
White folks teaching us because we was in a white neighborhood. It's ingrained right there. Just like when you first come here.
So why do we let? I mean, I want to kind of move
Sure.
it along.
Mhm.
Why do we let white folks name us and allow them to do to us what they want to do?
So my answer to that question, it's this thing called. You ever heard like when you go in the gym and you stay away from it for 2 weeks and you go back in 2 weeks and you start working back out and you blow up right back to where you was? It's this thing called DNA memory. You know what I mean? So your muscle memory, DNA memory. So this thing called Willie Lynch, the Willie Lynch syndrome in us is very much alive. You heard about Willie Lynch.
But what were black
syndrome.
folks? Here's the deal.
Mhm.
I'm gonna jump in,
Sure.
and my face is not on the camera.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Let's talk about Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And ask each one of you, does Black Lives matter?
Black lives don't even matter to black people. Over 2 weeks ago, 100 black people was killed.
Yeah.
Young black people, 100. How you kill that many in 1 week? And we did it to each other.
But it matters to us,
But
but
it
it don't
matters
matter
to-
to them.
exactly.
But so why is it that when a police white shoot a black person,
Mhm.
then we across America stand up and rally, but we don't rally daily when black and black kill one another?
I think that it's just I think for my opinion, I think we have this clown syndrome, and this clown syndrome is that we always want to be silly, just for me, and we always want to be in front of the camera, and everything, all the parts that we want to do is either be a comedian, we want to be in the circus, we want to rap about stuff that a lot of times don't make any sense.
When we
So
were
the answer
growing
to
up, we didn't have all this mess.
And we're not in the mess as we are today. The thing about it is this right here. It all stems from the 1960s civil rights. Martin Luther King taught us to slap on the cheek and turn the other cheek, right? We ain't that way now. We fight right now. We ain't gonna go back to that.
We're fighting
about
in.
black-
He was speaking
But
from
they're
the
fighting
Bible.
in.
Black
He was speaking from the Bible.
black lives does matter.
All lives matter.
All lives matter.
Okay.
What I feel that the only time that we come together is when there's a TV or something shining on us. We try to take
What's going to change that?
What's
Why
going-
is that? That's not a part of my DNA.
Okay, right. So what's going to change that is when successful black people marry successful other black people. When successful black athletes stop marrying all the wealth. Look at all the black
Say it
athletes.
like it is. You said the black athletes start marrying all the white people.
Yeah, and then all the
Oh, hey, wait,
right back to them.
this is raw.
It don't matter if it's raw.
No, I'm talking about this
cooked,
is no.
whatever. I'm
We're
just letting
talking
you know
real
where we
talk
are.
raw.
When we get money, it's all mentorship. We don't have the mentorship because that's design. You know what I'm saying? From the age of 18 to 35, all black men are either incarcerated. 80% of all black men and people of color. Listen to me very clearly. From 18 to 35, we are either incarcerated, we're on probation, we have dealt with the law, or we're on some kind of government supervision.
Okay, why?
The reason why it goes back to civil rights. When we had an opportunity, to do for self, everybody, Bobby, the Black Panthers, the young boys that got killed right off the gate, 21 years old, no one speaks of that. We don't take the time to stand up for each other.
Whose fault is that?
It's our fault.
Okay, so what are we going to do to correct it?
So what we got to do to correct it is we have to deprogram all the white noise, all the whitewash, all the programming that has been programming, all the system programming and reprogram and start treating each other.
How are we going to deprogram?
We got to go back to the roots.
How are we going to get to the
We
roots?
got to go back to the inner cities.
How are we going to do the inner
We
city?
got to go all get together. We all got to get
Who's
together.
gonna get
The
us
churches
together?
have to stop taking. The churches have to stop taking all the money, and the preachers have to stop taking all the money and reciprocate it back to the neighborhoods. That they don't do that. T.D. Jakes got his church is worth $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? So if he was to take that $1 billion right now and took it back into the urban community, right? It's not going to break the church. It's going to only uplift it. Somebody has to set the standards and start with one community and one.
Can I insert? Can I insert? You said that for the black people, they get money and they move away. Shit, I'm becoming a millionaire. I'm moving away from niggas too. I'm sorry, because one thing about it is you can tell from the cases that people are willing to do whatever for money.
Mhm.
When you talk about the black neighborhoods and what happened, when you go back, even if you go back to 1921, let's even go back to the time that we owned the land and we put all our money, our
Black Wall
gold,
Street?
our deeds. Yeah, we had two of them.
Mhm.
Our deeds and everything in the banking system, right? We woke up. The Essence woke up the next day, and what they say, the bank. Oh yeah, it don't exist no more. Hold on. So now you got a week to get off this land,
Right.
and we move you off the land. So what do? We go build again.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And they're gonna keep
We gonna
tearing it
build
down.
again. But then we allow people in to infiltrate, and we teach them. And then what they do is they take our information. They come in, smiles, yeah. We worried about the people that come in and showing their face. That's the people that hide their face. And when you go to the neighborhoods, most of us raised ourselves, or we was raised by grandparents.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Mentorship earlier.
But when you look at it,
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by drugs and drug dealers. If I never went outside that city, I don't know what exists.
Well, who introduced the drugs to you in the first place?
We was utilized to introduce the drugs to each other.
Okay. So let me answer that question. You said if you became a millionaire, you would move out the neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay, what neighborhood is that? I'm just because I'm
Just if I don't live in a hood neighborhood
okay.
no more.
So let me show you. So let me show you how this Willie Lynch syndrome still, the DNA still is hooked into wherever you go. First of all, the most expensive property right now in Dallas, Texas, is in the hood. You're talking about the regionification. Everything is by design because
And that's
hold on,
cool.
because-
And
hold on,
I'm
hold on.
still
So what I'm saying is this right here is that what I'm saying is you are programmed. You're programmed to flee. You said you're not.
No.
See, we got
No,
hold on,
you
hold on,
got
let me- let me-
you gotta let
let me-
somebody else talk. You gotta let somebody else
All
talk.
right, go ahead. I didn't finish my.
I can go back and tell you that South Dallas is the richest part of Dallas that
That's what I
existed.
just got through
I
saying.
understand that. But do you think I'm gonna be have $1 million sitting with a house right here next to duplexes that knowing niggas sell drugs right here? It don't make sense.
It does make sense.
It don't.
Because there's $1 million
Until
homes right now.
you can clean up that environment.
Okay.
Until you can clean that's like you got all these companies, right?
Uh-huh.
They don't went and bought South Dallas up. But these are the same investors, they just under different names.
So
They don't push all these people out of South Dallas and push them to foreign.
So 7 years ago, to your thing, 7 years ago, there was a street called Cedar Crest.
Right.
I
come from the hood.
Thank you. So I went and addressed this vision.
Mhm.
7 years ago, I spoke to Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Mayor Dwayne Caraway,
Mm-hmm.
and I brought some investors on Cedar Crest. And I said, you know what? I see a vision because if you go on top of it, you see this beautiful landscape, right? I brought, there was a woman that was about to lose her church.
Mm-hmm.
I went to her, knocked on her door, right down on the same side of Mr. Caraway's office.
Mhm.
Went down there, spoke to her, met with the lady. Me and Corey Simon and the actor Jason Mitchell, which is on Easy E. He's actually Easy E.
Mhm.
Play that, We addressed, hey, what can we do to help get this property? Because we know that you're in trouble with the property. She said, well, son, I'm gonna have to take $450,000. We take on appraisal and we see that the property is not worth $450,000.
Mm-hmm.
She will not sell to us. 2 months after that, she lost the property to a white dude that came in there and said, well, we'll just pay the taxes and give you a little something. Okay?
Mhm.
Now here we are, young black entrepreneurs that trying to come back to the city
Mm-hmm.
and do everything that they're doing right now, because there's $2.5 million homes everywhere in that same area.
Mhm.
You got stucco, you got all that, right? Instead of us seeing the vision, what we did was we saw the vision.
Mhm.
You know, we went and got the investors, white people investors. Hey, look, this is what's going to happen. Instead of us coming together and doing it, those same investors, those white investors, paid attention to what our vision was and took it upon themselves
Mhm.
and created it into reality.
So who told them the vision?
This what I'm saying. We. Reason why we had to go with them, because they owned the banks. They had the money.
okay.
When I went, I'm saying we went to the solution, meaning the lady, to give us an opportunity to buy it. She denied us
Okay.
for a lot more that we came to.
Was she black?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the
So
thing
what I'm
about
saying
it,
is that,
'cause we
what did
kinda
I
get a
do
little
wrong?
off-
What did I do
we
wrong? I'm
kinda
doing my
get a-
job.
No, we kind of get a little off the subject when we talk about talking about Black lives.
Okay, that's Black
And-
lives.
and I'm
That's
telling
Black
you-
lives in the neighborhood.
Let's go here. You got your good point. Let's go here with finance. Let's talk about money
Mhm.
and opportunity,
Okay.
and missed opportunity,
Mhm.
and why and what we can do and where the money really is.
Okay.
And money, you know, the church, the preachers, I ain't gonna never let the preachers get away.
Yeah.
All right. So if the preachers is listening, I want them to know I ain't gonna let them get away, because church ain't the same as church used to be.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then the athletes. I'm not gonna let the athletes get away.
Right.
I call names. I'm just putting this out there. Here's Dak Prescott.
Right.
Okay. He got all these million.
Mhm.
I'm just using Dak. I'm just using
Sure.
you as one,
Sure.
because I'm talking about Dak and all the other black athletes, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, and all of that.
Right.
They have millions of dollars in contracts and millions of dollars in endorsements. They live fine. All right. Now I'm also going to add in with the athletes, all of the entertainers, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all of the movie stars we got. It's got all these millions of dollars. Okay. Now they may not be from the hood, but they once came from the hood. You can believe that, because even Dion came from a struggling Florida.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, at the end of the day, though, why is it that they will not be asked, and we don't ask them? Hey, look, Larry, you put $1 million in a pot, okay,
Mhm.
and then every athlete put $1 million. Now they don't owe it, okay? They don't owe anything to us, but if they who are financially stable enough, that are black like us enough, were to want to do for us, and put a pot over here so that we could put money into and back into the community.
Mhm.
Now here's Trump.
Mhm.
Trump want to go and build Gaza
Mhm.
and the beautiful, all of those, the landscaping and all of the stuff he want to do, and move them people over here and over there. He want to go all the way over there to do that. But here's South Dallas. Here's Dixon Circle.
Mhm.
Okay, here's West Dallas. Here's Oak Cliff. And here's Philadelphia. Here's Atlanta. Here's all of the other cities
Mhm.
that have poor neighborhoods.
Right.
Well, why in the hell we gonna sit back and then wait a minute now?
Yeah.
Why we gonna sit back
Mhm.
and let all that money, since it's about money, go somewhere else without us demanding that something be done with this money? Tell the athletes, yeah, hey, look, you make the contribution. Tell the churches, hey, look, you make a contribution. The entertainers, hey, y'all make a contribution. But guess who else got to make a contribution? The black people got to make a contribution. What contribution can they make? One, they can stop. They can stop throwing trash out into our own neighborhood. They can stop hanging out in our own neighborhood. They can start coming together, having conversations about, hey, what can we do to make things better in our neighborhood? I ain't gonna let the black people get off, because black people bullshitting. That's exactly what's going on. We have enough, but we don't do enough because we're too busy hating, backbiting, not holding our elected officials accountable. We vote on popularity. White folks had 18 people run for president, and none of them during the debate, none of them like one another. But you let one black run against a black that's in office, okay, and then you're doing wrong. Now, let me say, I know I'm running all over everywhere, but let me just say this about Chuck Schumer and the vote that he took and led in the Senate that gave Trump the victory that he had as related to the shutdown. Well, I can't just blame Chuck Schumer. Chuck is the leader. Senator Schumer is the leader. But now I can't just blame him. You know why I can't just blame him? Because I don't have to blame them other 9 motherfuckers that didn't stand up with him. He had 9 more. So all 9 of them. It didn't take but 3 of them to jump in there and not allow that to happen. So black folks, as long as we stay divided and not unified, then we ain't gonna never grow. If you don't put no water on the plant will not grow. And if it does grow, it will die without water. In every one of our communities, and I'm speaking specifically in Dallas because I know Dallas, in Southern Dallas, is not one corner that we are in charge of as relate to a grocery store, a small store, in certain businesses and all that. Now, yeah, we got regular barbecue, we got Rudy's chicken, holding down they little corners, okay? But at the end of the day, it's not a grocery store you can go to. You know why? Because you're too goddamn busy smoking the goddamn Black and Milds and Blunts, and then they're all tatted up with tattoos. So how the hell you gonna go get a job? You got tattoos all on your face, neck, and everywhere else. Who want to hire you if that's gonna be the deal? Black don't crack. Black is beautiful. Everybody wearing everybody else's hair. Okay? And who's selling them the hair? Well, the people from Korea and all them people selling them the hair. And who's wearing the goddamn hair? So not only are they wearing the hair, but they had to buy the hair. Okay? Now, when you go get your pretty hair cut, they throw black people's hair away. They don't use it. They look at it as trash hair. But now it's okay for beautification. But the next thing I'm talking about is the goddamn nails and shit. Hold your hand up. Hold your hand up. No. Look at your little pretty hands. Come on now. So why you gotta have all this shit with diamonds on it, sticking out 4 inches, and then you're getting your toes done, and all of this shit. Who's making the money?
Yeah.
And I do go to the casino and I do gamble. Yeah. I want folks to know that straight. This is raw. But here's the deal. When you go to the casino, just go this weekend and see who the hell is in that betting. Now we in there, give us $100 worth of chips. Give me the $75 worth of chips. Them folks in there with all our money that they made from doing y'all toes and your fingernails and your hair and all the other stuff that they're doing. And they buy $5,000 worth of chips. Come on now. So the solution is, goddamn it, is for black folks to stop all this backbiting and start getting together, just like Martin Luther King and others before Martin Luther King.
So I think the solution is.
What is the solution? No, hold on. I got to get this rant all the way out. I got to get it all the way out. Then I listen. Here's the deal. When we were in school, when we can talk about obesity, okay? And what I just sit here and ate 4 bags of chips behind y'all. Y'all need to see me eating these 4 bags of potato chips, okay?
I just didn't say that.
Yeah, we're good. Don't.
I was trying to ask you what mine is at.
Well, it's right in there in my car. I'll get them out. But here's the deal. School has changed because we've allowed it to change. In 1970 and before, Lil Charles, Coach Holly, and Coach Purify, and all of the coaches when we were coming up, if they slapped us, hey, it's over. Ain't nobody's gonna do nothing about it.
It's okay.
I don't know when the hell CPS was in 1970, in 1950, in 1960. Was no such thing as a CPS.
The 90s too.
Okay. And then when we start integrating and going to schools, these folks start talking about, don't hit my child.
I went to the school where Hawaii was going to school, and I said, "You beat the shit out of her if she got a line." Okay, other than that, I'm gonna be mad at you.
Yeah.
In other words, disciplinary actions are no longer existing. Study hall don't exist. The respect for the teachers do not exist. Teachers are the most vulnerable because they're the babysitter. The teachers are the babysitters for 8 hours because from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, that's who has our kid, is from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And from 4 to 5 o'clock, they at home, if at home, and then they don't even eat dinner no more. They eat all this. They don't even go to church no more. And on Saturday evenings, here's the black people doing. They go getting ready to go to happy hour, getting ready to go somewhere, and the kids going wherever they want to go. Children are not your best friend. Children are your child until they start paying the goddamn rent and getting out on their own. It doesn't make sense. Every Wendy's, every Jack in the Box, every Burger King, every Church's Chicken, every Popeyes, when you drive through there now, look who's handing your food out the window. Black folks ain't even working the cash registers. None of these stores, nowhere. Why? Because we've not demanded it. So we've laid down. We've just given up. And we've given in. And our kids, the next generation, that's what they're seeing. It's just like Shai was saying, the generation, times have changed. Folks ain't listening to those old people no more. The young generation's taking over. But we have to make sure that we integrate with them to try to make sure that we can help get them to somewhat understand that we understand is your term, but the things that are hurting us and the things that you're going to be living with for the next 10 years, look at this last one. I was talking to some young men and young Black African Americans and young, I'm talking these young guys, these teenagers. I said, look at what you see how raggedy this is right now? Oh yeah, look at it. I said, now just think, if it's raggedy today, 10 years from now, it's going to be more raggedy and you're going to still be here. So if you already don't like it, it's only going to get worse if you don't do something about it. We just have to make some sense to them. I imagine that's what I'm trying to say. If we don't make sense to them and show them in a way that they can understand, all of the guns and things that's going on, them guns are in them people's houses. They put that gun out there in the rain and then left and went and got it to try to go shoot somebody. That gun's in the house. You're supposed to know, as the man of the house, what's in your goddamn house. You should know what's in your house. But we ain't whooping no ass. We done let them, they just doing, remember Cheese? Y'all heard Cheese? Remember the drug Cheese?
They were killing all them young people.
Just killing all them damn white people. That's what Cheese was doing. No, damn fentanyl. You ain't heard nothing else about fentanyl since Trump has been in office. They ain't said a damn thing about fentanyl. Okay? They said it getting in office, they're going to stop the fentanyl. Who's bringing in the damn fentanyl in the beginning? The people up in the big buildings. Okay? Black folks ain't going to touch fentanyl. They say if you touch it, you'll die. Well, black folks most cautious people in the world.
I just had a friend die from fentanyl.
Yeah. So
like a month ago.
So yeah. You want to take this in address?
No, yeah, y'all go ahead. I'm through.
I'm going to take this because I got 4 points on all those.
Yeah, but let me just say one thing, because we were talking about it. Dwayne, this was the conversation started. Dwayne talking about how can we make it better? How can we accumulate that? This is my saying, and I'm not going to read some of it. But anyway, this is my saying for this. We do not have enough Black big businesses in this city because you know what, we have to go look for a job. If Black people, you go look for a job, you're going to where white folks have to hire you. You're going to where white folks is running this. We need to put all our money, all these people that's got this money, these actors, these movie stars, they need to start putting up big buildings, man, that Blacks can go to and get hired because they're not hiring us.
But they can't. They got handlers.
Well, let's answer this question. Don Washington said, this guy doesn't understand Black life. Who does this to Black men? Black life. Who does all this to black men? Dwayne, the conversation is all over the place. Why does he keep talking about Willie Lynch? That was a comment that we got.
Okay.
Uh.
So first of all, there's this thing called the 30 under 30 project, where all the banks came together and said, hey, what we're going to do about 30. 30 like South Dallas and all the way down. The bank said that they had to come out with a program to address the loans that they're not getting. Number one, this guy that's talking about Willie Lynch syndrome is very well and alive right now, because never have I said that we shouldn't come together and destroy that Willie Lynch syndrome. So what does that tell me? That I'm very aware of that syndrome. It's up to me to at least help find the solution. All I'm talking about is the solution. The solution is this right here. Mr. Caraway said, how come these black folks can't come together, these actors? They can. All of them have to, they can take 30, they can get 30 athletes and put in $1 million and start entitlement.
Okay, so
What does entitle? What does it?
But who gonna go get the 30 athletes? You gonna go get them?
Hold up. I said, I'm saying a solution.
Okay.
30 athletes came together. How many athletes are in the NFL, NBA, and all that? There's surely more than 30, right? So if you got 30 of them come together and raised $1 million, they're $300 million strong. And they can start with that. They can start taking a piece of property and then starting to entitle the property in a depleted neighborhood and start building. That's one of the solutions right there. There's other athletes that do the same thing that don't look like us. They come together all the time. Why can't we come together? That's a positive solution. Do you agree or disagree?
Who's gonna do it?
I just got through saying who's gonna do it.
Who's gonna get the first athlete?
I'm saying.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm just saying that surely I said surely there's 30 athletes. If we don't believe in ourselves, who else gonna believe in us?
Who's gonna go get the first one?
Well, I mean,
You
I'm
gonna
just
get the
saying there's
first
30 athletes. I'm just putting it out there, and I'm just putting it out there in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying a solution. I'm just saying like the class of teachers. Hey,
So take the athletes off the table. Let's go to everyday people. So
everyday people, whoever has $1 million, it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't have to be $1 million. $1 million people can give $1 and have 1 million.
Yeah. Well, we do that.
We definitely.
Now the thing about it is we need mentorships. We need mentorships to teach. How can these young black people learn, or young people of color learn anything, if we are a product of the system? The system is what's raising us. Our mamas ain't raising us. Our daddies ain't raising us.
Who's gonna go re-raise them? Who's gonna re-raise? My mama raised me. Wait. My mama, my daddy raised me.
Right.
Who's gonna go re-raise the parents that's not raising their kids properly today?
That's what I'm saying. I'm answering your question that the system is raising these kids
We
right now.
our
And
own
the
system.
The vote.
We got to be the system.
I understand that.
I'm
saying the solution.
Go
In order for there to be a solution, we have to identify the problem.
Identify the problem.
Okay, so now we have to come up with a solution. There's a platform. We have to come up with mentorship platforms that go out and help people. We don't have that anymore because all those systems are being taken away from us.
I'm gonna tell you the system and why it's so broken to younger people. And I agree with you on the Willie Lynch because people don't understand that they don't know the Willie Lynch is you keep black people, you keep them physically strong and you keep them mentally weak. That was from Willie Lynch. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Right. So when we look at the system, when you sit down and talk, if you go in the hood, like I'm from the hood, right? Mm-hmm. You think if you can't say nothing about whatever went on in the hood when you was in the hood, I can't really relate to you. You see what I'm saying? Right. If you coming in there with niggas that tote guns all day and you in here trying to preach them, oh, you need to, nigga, they not listening.
So there you go.
You have to make it, let them know that you understand.
That's right. That's the
biggest
point.
You have to let them know. When you go to the hood, like I can go to the hood and pull a bigger crowd than you can, even if you have big education. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's because I'm gonna go in, you go relate. You have to shape shift.
And then you hit a good point. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like I said, well, how's everything going like it's going? Y'all gotta look at the big picture. What's the big picture? You look at TV, the movies they got out now, everything. You look at the entertainers. Dwayne talked about the nails and all this here. The tit tat. See everything that's going on, man. Y'all don't see the big picture, man. It's coming from the TVs. It's coming from the actors, the musicians. If they would change and do, what if they
But they can't.
What if they didn't put on all of today?
They can't.
But what I'm trying to tell you, you want to know where it's starting from, where it's coming from? This is it. All the big cars, all the business. Why is everybody driving this, driving that, man? Look at it. Come on, y'all. Come on, think about it. This is nothing but people trying to live something that they have seen.
But who
everything's about what they've seen.
Who do we blame? Let's go back even before 1996. We go back before even 1996 with the Telecommunication Act of 1996, where all media transformed from being family. That's why you had K104. K104 was a family-oriented station. But after Telecommunication Act of 1996, it switched over to the 1%, and they all show you the same thing. Correct. That's why 9 songs are played over here and 9 songs are played over here. It's this strategically. Correct. You see what I'm saying? Right. But if we basing it off the media, that means we don't have enough leaders in the community. That's what you because the first person I ever wanted to be like was a big time drug dealer before I even watching TV, and I'm just being realistic. Before I got into law and all this, I want to be the drug dealer because that's what I seen.
You're correct.
That's who I seen.
So as we sat down on this panel, we spoke earlier. You heard language like we have to deprogram to reprogram. Didn't we say that, right? So when you are going with a program system, as we've been programmed, right? This is the outcome of what we're getting. Me being Latino, habla todo español 100%. You know, I had made it me. So for whoever sit up there and said what I don't know, do that. I do my research. I do my homework to make sure that I can go back to the community of help. I don't have to be here. Yeah, I'm going out here to enlighten people, try to make a difference in terms of information. Right. The information that I have, whether you want to listen to it or not, then if you want to discredit, why don't you just go do your homework about what Willie Lynch is, and you see if it's not living right now. So I want to
understand that. Yeah. But when you go into communities, if you come into community like where I'm from, I'm from Kingston Park, right? Right? One of the most Fairway, no, right? You come to the hood telling me, hey, I got this information for you. You gonna listen or not? Nigga, we don't care.
Right. So
we don't care.
That's fine.
I'm saying, but we need we not preaching to people that's already knowing.
You are correct.
We need with people that don't know.
You are correct. But do you realize that there are people that are also bigger gangster than you ever imagine being? You know what I'm saying? Just because they could put a suit on, don't mean that I ain't no gangster. Don't mean what I'm saying. Don't mean that I ain't no blood. Don't mean that I ain't no Crip. Don't mean that I ain't did all these types of things. Hold on.
My daddy was a 33rd Mason.
I'm just getting to a point.
But I'm talking about you saying the biggest gangster. I seen the biggest gangsters.
No, that's good.
They don't.
What I'm saying back to where I was at is this right here, is that we are addressing the Black community, right? And I'm trying to show in the contrast on what's going on with the Hispanic community and the Black community. The Hispanic community, they leave Black leaves the neighborhood and go on. The Hispanic community go right behind. What's happening to the Hispanic community is happening to what is taking place, what already happened to the Black community. There used to be mom and daddy at home in the Hispanic community. Guess what's happening right now in the Hispanic community? It's starting to take effect on the Hispanic community too, because the system is shifting to the Hispanic community right now as we speak, in immigration and all that. And
you know why?
Because
they said, hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. They said, oh, these Black people, hold on, these niggas starting to realize too much. They starting to realize too much and they see too much. We got gentrified. If you go back to all these neighborhoods that was predominantly Black, especially in Dallas, it was predominantly Black in all these neighborhoods. When you go to these neighborhoods now, they're Hispanic. That's what I'm telling you what they did. They said niggas waking up. The police couldn't come in our hood, and that's real talk. So what they would do is they would act like they was the workers on the city and stuff like that to try to come in our hood because you couldn't infiltrate. When they realized you couldn't infiltrate it, that's when they said we got to get these niggas up out of here. They gentrified. Then they start bringing Hispanic over. Oh yeah, they dumb. They go vote for us.
Hey, Todd,
And I'm telling you what they saying. We go do them how we used to do the black people, even though we can't do them like that no more. So give them a little something, and let them know when you send that card in, these are all the people that we need you to vote for. These are, hey, you need a store? Okay, well, see, these black people know that it's illegal to tax them like that, but we can, hey, it's 20% extra with y'all. Y'all illegal. If y'all don't want the deal, you can go where you need to go.
What I'm saying, in the 1970s, white people, we could take these TAS tests, right? White people was above, then it was black.
No, not in 1970.
Let me
No.
I don't think I even took a test.
Yeah, not in 1970.
Well, when I went to Garland School, we were taking tests, and everybody was tasting. It was a test. I remember it was a test that where it showed where Asians was at, where black folks was at, where this and this was at. You understand what I'm saying? And we was behind everybody, and it was and now we know that it is going to a point where Hispanics are being what we used to be, because you can go and Hispanics, they owning businesses. We the only people that
they don't really be owning.
What I'm saying, we don't own it.
They getting extorted.
They not
Most
getting
of them
extorted. They own it. They are becoming more and more advanced. Everybody is passing us up. That's what I'm saying.
You can't.
You know why it passes us up? Because we laying down. It
Exactly.
passes us up because we don't.
Is it happening? Is it happening?
No, what I'm saying, but listen, it's passing us up because we allow it.
We don't have
Exactly.
no business.
Okay, now as long as
Exactly.
until we decide that we're going to do something,
When are we going to
and
decide?
hey man, look, y'all, we
When
try
are we going
to.
to decide?
Y'all
I'm
better
saying
hurry
to
up. 'Cause
us,
here's the deal.
Yeah.
I got a birthday coming. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here. I'm not. Let me tell you something. When this shit really go down, I'm gonna be the went down 6 feet under. But the people that's gonna be here living through this,
it's going to be here.
it's gonna be a whole different situation. Only if we don't right now come together, understand, hold people accountable, and stop hating on one another. Everybody put their money together, lay down your sword, come in the room, and let's figure out together what we're going to do.
Exactly.
We don't need no one somebody out there being the ringleader. We need
need
many leaders working together.
Even
Now,
the leaders, even to say many leaders, the leaders that we elect, leaders.
Well, first of all, we don't vote.
Well, hold up.
So we ain't elected nobody. No. I understand we vote in here.
The leaders that we elect and the leaders that we entrust to help us out do not.
So why do we keep voting on?
Well, why we keep voting them in?
Because
Because of what?
because of this.
Because of what?
What that man said earlier.
Why you think they send me this?
Willie Lynn syndrome? What he said?
Why you think? Why do you think they put me in timeout?
Because information.
What?
Because of information. Because
Break it down.
You was given information positive. You was given positive information to the positive youth that was internalizing, absorbing it to become positive role model for the positive community.
Okay.
And once they see a leader, once a leader speaks, that leader dies. What I'm saying to people, and all they got to listen is this right here. When you do positive things, nothing but positive, they're going to come back to you. When you speak positive things come back to you. All I am saying is this right here. Me being Black Latino, I am saying right now, the difference that I was taught and me, if I was in this environment, I learned this in my mentorship with this Hispanic community. When I started affiliating to want to go into the hood and learn about drugs and all that, being all that part of that, I learned another environmental situation. And how did they learn all that environmental situation? By depression. Why is it the depression? When you go to the store, or when you go to your home and you ask your mom, hey mom, what's there to eat? And you open up the refrigerator. She said, go in the refrigerator and look at what's in the refrigerator. You open up and you don't see nothing but water in there, right? And the dope man down the street said, man, we can hook this up and change it.
When I was growing up, when I was growing up,
just giving you what's
wait a minute,
reality.
when I was growing up,
Yeah.
I didn't see the dope man.
You
Wait a
didn't see
minute,
the
wait a
dope
minute,
man,
wait a minute,
because-
wait a minute. No,
Yeah.
I didn't see the dope man.
No.
It wasn't that dope wasn't around,
Was the boogie
but
man
I
around?
wait a minute, I didn't see the dope man. You know why I didn't see the dope man? Because our goddamn community wouldn't allow what's going on in these communities today.
Correct.
We did not allow that going
Correct.
on then.
So what I'm saying,
Wait a minute, hold on, Pat. Now, hold it. 1 second. Now, I'm saying, and it goes back to even what Shaw was saying. What these youngsters today have grown up and seen, and they see it on television, and they see it in their community, and they see it even in their families. You got families that smoke dope with the kids nowadays in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
So now when you see these folks all are out here homeless, half homeless, and all of this stuff that's going on, it's happening in the home. They don't even take the kids to church. They no more. On Saturday nights when I was growing up, we used to be getting ready to go to church, make sure our shoes was polished, and we was going to have to get up and go to Sunday school. And wait a minute, and that was a part of it. Okay.
and what
Now,
year did it stop?
but and at the end, and that morning, I looked at my daddy on Sunday morning. My dad would give us an allowance, whether it's $4 or $5, whatever we had, we'd have it. Because that's I'm just saying how we work. That ain't happening today.
And what year did it stop?
Wait a minute. I just told you when this stuff
No, I'm
stopped.
saying, when I'm
I
asking
graduated
you a
from
question.
Roosevelt in 1970.
I'm asking.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
I graduated from Roosevelt in 1970.
Right.
That's 55 years ago.
Right.
God dang it, that's 55 years ago.
So
But wait a minute, hold on. So 55 years ago.
Correct.
So now 57 years ago, that's when they started that "Don't Hit My Child." Okay. And so they started "Don't Hit My Child," because why? Well, the way I was told why was because they didn't want the black teachers whooping their children. Okay. But the black people fell in love with their little children. Don't hit my child, and raise up. Hey, look here. And the same ones that said don't hit my child, guess what? The child even whoops the mama's ass. The child even called the mama a bitch today. I saw at my school, when I went by to visit Coach Ernest James, my track coach, I saw a kid hit Coach James right dead in the chest, knocked him up against the wall. And he said, "You looking at my woman." Nigga, if that had been when we was growing up, you'd have been still standing there with the hand over your throat, holding you up against the wall. So when they took discipline, the prayer and discipline and all those things out of school, okay, and even the pledge.
Okay, so respectfully, can I say this right here?
Okay.
I asked a question, right? Now watch this right here, because it's very, very important.
Yeah, hello.
It's not
Yes.
blaming this, not blaming that.
Yes, who
I'm
is this?
asking when and what year did that take place?
Mhm.
And when did it stop? And whose watch did it take place under? Was it the kids now place that it took? It was whoever was at that time. Was it 1970? Am I correct on that? If in 1970, if it took place in 1970, right, Shy?
Well,
In 1970, right? If that took place in 1970, that's affecting these kids now. Then who watch
Okay.
was it
Go
under
ahead.
that took place? Because it surely wasn't these kids right now. So what I'm saying
Yeah.
right
Go
now,
ahead.
during the civil rights movement, right? We got to a point of civil rights and stopped. And because we stopped, you're seeing the effect now. And why did it stop? Because Big System came, Mr. Program came and appeased you, gave you something so you would stop. They passed these laws so you could stop. They gave you food stamps and everything else so you could stop. So you could be dependent on the government. So you could be dependent on the system. So all of a sudden now,
They didn't give you nothing. You was miseducated.
there you go. Thank you.
You
I
was
appreciate
miseducated.
it. I
When I
appreciate
put
that.
something
So what I'm saying
when I
now,
put something in front of you, you making me one thing, but
it means something else. So now what I'm saying right now, you are a cause and effect
Tommy
of your
Baker.
environment of what you allow. Now you sit
Okay.
up there talking
All right.
about these kids are wrong for doing this and doing that. When who failed us at that time? Who failed us 57 years ago? Because somebody had to be on the watch to be able to say, hey, look, we ain't going for that.
Failed me.
I'm not saying
No,
that.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
saying
No.
57
I'm just saying my parents. Wait,
Mine didn't either.
that's my point.
But I know
Yeah.
Martin
But
Luther
I'm
King
saying,
did.
I'm saying this right here.
Martin
I'm
Luther King
saying,
did
I'm
too,
saying
though.
this right here under whose watch. I mean, your parents didn't have to. My parents didn't have to. His parents didn't have to. But 99% of those ants out there, if we don't wake up, are going to continuously to fail us. And look at educated people or look at woke people and say, hey, you woke people, you 1%. Fix the problems of the 99%. If the 99% don't want to participate to fix their own shit.
But one thing about
was,
it, you know,
what happened was the Drumpf system was this, man. I was in the 60s. I come up really before Dwayne, and that's right. I mean, anybody on your block, I don't care if they're older person, they can spank your butt. Tell you,
That's
"Boy,
how it was.
That's
growing
right,
up.
kidding, this
And
happened."
I was
But
born in the
let
80s.
me show y'all
I'm
what
with
happened. But let me show y'all what happened in life. Life goes on. Dr. Luther King, what did he say? It's gonna be a change. And we all seeing a change. Everybody's seeing a change. He said a long time ago. What's gonna be a change?
But Martin Luther King part of the problem
Wait,
too. We gotta be
wait.
realistic.
Malcolm X said there's going to be a change too.
That's right. But let me tell you this thing.
Yeah.
But listen to me. Let me tell you one change that I witnessed. I lived growing up to see happen. See, our parents could take us and discipline us themselves. Police didn't have to do nothing. Dad would take care of you. Everybody would take care of you. But you know what happened? One incident happened to where a child was misbehaved. Okay, that's when the law comes in. Now, guess what the kid can do? He can take you to court. They gave the kids the rights. They took it from the parents.
who's
They
they?
gave it to the
Who's they?
white folks.
Wait, but hold on. Wait, hold on. Now y'all, you're talking about the white folk did this.
Yeah.
The
Who
white
allowed it?
Wait.
Who allowed it?
Oh, we allowed
You
it to
got
happen.
you got
There
niggas
you
like
go.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah, we
Let's
allowed
just
it
be
to happen.
realistic.
But
You got Martin Luther King.
Under who watch?
Martin Luther
White
King.
folks gave it-
Hold on. Martin Luther King
Right.
understood at the end what happened. That's why he have a speech that's never heard of when he said, "All right, I'm afraid I have locked my people into a burning house." You can go back and you can research it. Martin Luther King, he took people out of segregation. When he took them out of segregation, they was going back and forth with each other. Malcolm X told him, "If you take them out of segregation, you're gonna kill a black business." You marching over a bridge.
But
So let's
and
listen
I
to
don't-
Darryl.
I don't-
Let's
I
not
don't-
interrupt Darryl. Nobody. Let's hear a new voice.
No, please don't put that halo on my head.
Yeah.
I apologize for disagreeing with you.
No,
we can't
it's
blame
okay. It's okay.
Malcolm and we can't blame Martin.
Right.
We have to blame Malcolm and Martin and the black community.
Thank you.
Because we were so busy trying to choose right or left that we left out everything in the
And
center.
I agree.
Thank
I
you.
totally agree.
Right, yeah,
And I totally
yeah.
agree.
Who was on your watch
But
that did
Martin
that?
and Malcolm was the leaders. Martin and
That's
Malcolm
what
were
I'm saying.
as leaders.
Wait, hey, y'all still interrupted Darryl.
No,
Let-
he
let-
said he
Y'all
said
have-
it.
Right. Yeah, well,
I
Well,
said it was pretty
So I asked who under whose watch? Under whose watch did all this take place? Martin Luther King,
He was a leader at that time.
Malcolm X.
was a leader at that time.
You could say W. for Brian Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad,
Elijah.
whatever. All that said. All I am saying is this right here: is that the ripple effect is what you're seeing because of that, right to this day. Because I tell you what, in Garland, when I got convicted in 1989 for shit that I still don't know what I got convicted of right now to this day, I cannot sit up there and spell out what I got convicted of. But I know what type of person I was, and the type of person my mom and them was, and the type of person that this right here is that because of that, I wasn't going to let that stop me from being successful.
Right.
The only thing that stopped me from being successful as to my momentum was the very same people that I look for help once that look like me, talk like me, that's who hurt me. And the only person out of that group that was trying to help me is I'm in front right now. Because the building that I had downtown, you know, so the buildings that you talking about, we own $13.5 million right there on Main and Cesar Chavez. Right down the street was on Field Street, on the building. Right down on the toll and Broadway, we owned it. We were making $650,000 a month, $400-something thousand, $1 million a month. Just we had to make that just to pay our bills. Now I'm gonna tell you what the problem is this right here. I went down there and said, hey, I need help. At the time, we had every council people. We had the majority on the council. And they still fucked me.
Was it in
One person?
We went up there.
We went up there into the chief of police and Mr. Carraway. He said, "Come on in here."
Was it any black people on that council?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh,
What I'm saying to you is this right here. I remember like yesterday. They gave me a ticket for sound violation. The police come up and I said, go up. Well, we're getting complaints from all you people because there's some noise pollution that's taking place after 9 o'clock. There's order. No problem. I'll comply. Do whatever I got to do. Go on up there and you tell me where there's sound up on the rooftop. There was no speaker up there. So how can there possibly be? You know, I told the chief of police who was right there. I said, well, you tell me how is that possible? Don't you know within 3-4 months after that, they shut us down. And guess what? There's a business thriving bigger than everything on the same thing I'm doing. On every corner. I even said, how come is it that you start off on Ross Avenue? You take Ross Avenue from the beginning of Dallas all the way down to the end. There ain't nobody black on nothing. You start over here on Main Street, you do anything. We got bellied up in Deep Ellum. They barricaded us, bellied up that land. Then they served it and bought it all up. Then they come up with a special use permit. You know why they came up with a special use permit? Because they didn't want black people to have no clubs or restaurants down there. So they had to come with this thing called special use permit. So that means that you had to do good for 2 years, and then we might give you the permit, right? Ross was a striving community of Latin and black community all the way down. And because of our watch, we killed it. We killed our own fucking shit. And that's a fact.
White people didn't do it, huh?
We did it.
Let's go.
Not you.
Wait a minute. It wasn't damn sure was me.
No,
I was fighting like hell for you.
I
I'm fighting like hell. That's another reason why I'm in time out, because I didn't take no
I
shit.
can tell you about all the councilors that was on there. And all the
They
people.
fucked me.
I came to you for help, and you were the only person that helped. You remember me and you went down to this restaurant one time on Ross Avenue, and they wouldn't take our what? Our credit card. You remember that?
Oh hell yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And that was racial in itself. You
And
know
I
why?
raised hell there.
Because they come up with taxes, and each and every one of those black people that come in, well, we're just gonna have to see. There was this white boy named Philip Kingston. I'm saying facts, so I can do this. He was a newbie because he was in a so-called district that was close to Highland Park. Everybody else in the council opposed to Mr. Carraway at the time, because Mr. Carraway was mayor pro tem, was listening.
Yeah.
Everybody wrote with him. Everybody wrote, and I'm looking at these people. I said, man, y'all are killing our
Even the
business.
black people.
Yeah, they killed our business, man.
But the same thing, same analogy is this. Here's the deal. We continue, we being black, we continue to elect the same people over and over again off of popularity. Hold on now, off of popularity. Then when the Negroes, and I'm talking about the Negroes, that's me. When the Negroes get out now, they're too busy trying to be Mr. Goody Two Shoe and want to show the white folks just how politically correct they can be and yes and that. That same thing is happening in Washington. Same thing that's happening in Houston and in Atlanta, Chicago, everywhere else. Black people, once you give the black folks power, the ego goes to the head and they don't stand up. If you see these raggedy ass Republicans up there in Washington, D.C. right now, those Republicans, they're going to stick together and vote whether it's right or wrong. Okay? And they've been voting on everything up there wrong. All right, because they're not going to defy the president. They're going to stick with him. We do not stick together, and they pimp our community because we lay down and open up our butts and let them come in. There's no way in the world in Bunton, where Lincoln High School, no way in the world in Bunton, deep Bunton. I don't care who you are yet to have identification. Go down there. Okay? How did the foreigners get off into Bunton without the community hearing the whistle that, hey, here's an opportunity and we can come together?
Thank you.
In my district alone that I represented, listen, in District 4 alone, just my district, we got 15 districts, we got 14 districts, okay? In my portion of my district that I represented, there are 364 churches. 364 churches. Churches. Now, so now, if each church were to say every Sunday we're gonna put
$1,000.
No, just $100. Just $100. We'll put $100 over here in this Sunday, and this next Sunday, and this next Sunday, and this next Sunday. Out of 364, add that up and see what you get out of them $100. Then within just that district, certainly some economic opportunity,
Yes, sir.
a shopping center
Speak.
or something,
Yep.
a grocery store
Yep.
could be developed from there.
Correct.
What black folks got to understand is this, and I'm talking black, I'm just telling you, we got to understand, we got to stop holding our hand out and hold our hands up.
Yeah.
You know, we always waiting on something and somebody to do something for us that we've come accustomed to. Well, we need this, or we need that, we need this. God damn it, do it to other people do. Go put your money together and go do it.
The Indians do it.
Everybody does it but
Hispanics
us.
do it.
Everybody does it but us. Okay? So it's no, I go back to the nail shop. I got to stay on this nail shop thing because I went and saw the nails because I was nosy. And I went on Harry Hines, and they got at Harry Hines. We can get them and go over there right now. I'll show you this. They have their
Everything.
own little shipment store
to sell to you.
no wholesale that they come and get all the things that they put in them shops, all the hair, all the nails, all of the fake booties and all that stuff
To sell.
comes over to their wholesale warehouse,
Yes.
and they go in there
Distribute.
and they no. You see all of the nails already decorated. Hey man, I'm saying, and they didn't want me in there, but they couldn't stop me either because I went on in there. I gave my gold card and I said, "Oh no, bullshit! I'm coming in there. I want to know what the hell going on." Okay, look, these nails were 99 cents a package. The ones that they already pre-have and and all of this kind of stuff. 99 cents. I'm sure they might have something a little more than that. 99 cents. But then when y'all go to the nail shop, then that just costs them 99 cents. Now, no, whatever it costs for y'all to get your nails done. And I just know that black folks can take, well, my mama did it, can take the fingernail polish and paint your own nails. And then they used to say, and I know I'm getting back off the subject going to the nail thing. I have a passion. I'm mad about this. You know how to make the fingernails grow? They used to soak their hands in milk. They just put your hands in the milk. They put their hands in the milk. Then their little nails grow hard and all that. They grow as long as they want to grow them. But you got to have all this fake stuff. I don't want a fake. I want black don't crack. And if you take a look at it, the most beautiful thing on this earth, look at all of us in here right now. We black, and we're black and pure
When
and
you say
beautiful.
fake stuff, what you mean?
Fake ass,
Okay.
fake. They wear the eyelashes from the eye another 2 inches out here.
Yeah.
They even putting the goddamn
Let me have it.
eyelashes.
I'll take some of that.
You can have it.
Yeah.
See, you the reason that
Take some of
niggas
that.
wearing it.
I
You the
take-
reason that.
Leave out
You the reason they wearing it.
Don't leave out
You the reason they,
fake
yeah,
nerves.
yeah, you the reason they wearing it. You
Yeah.
the reason, yeah, I know it. But my point is this: when I'm not trying to make this I thing, but I be so pissed off now when I go into Walmart or the grocery stores and everything is all locked up. Okay, you know, come on now. They go in here. Here's Tylenol. They go in there and they get the Tylenol, open it up. You know what they do? Pour all the Tylenol in the purse and put the bottle back up on the shelf.
Who does that?
A lot of
The
people.
black people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
At the stores. So what do they start doing? They lock it up. They even have to lock up the toothpaste.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's all locked up. So and then here's the next deal. Here's the next deal. When you go to the Walmart and get it, they have to unlock it. And guess what they do? You gotta take it over. They take it over here to the counter for you to have to pay for it. You can't even walk it from the thing to the cashier. Okay? It's so inconvenient. But it's only because we continue to accept it.
Yeah.
You know, and the plastic bag that they put my ass on and I whoop their ass back. You know, here's the deal, man. Come on, man. Why is it that we don't have, and I was driving down Martin Luther King late last night coming from RLs. And on Martin Luther King, the only place that was open around 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere in that area, was Williams Chicken. This is Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And where, you know, I want something to eat. It ain't nothing on Martin Luther King. I was arguing with one of my other constituents because they say, well, you know, the Jack in the Box is over here on RB Color. But come on now, hold on now. That's RB Color. I'm talking Martin Luther King. You know, it ought to be something that you can pull into because we accept it. And until we stop accepting it, I applaud, and back to you though, but when you said about Martin Luther King, here's the deal. In Martin Luther King's era, he made his contribution. He couldn't control everybody. Like we can't control the few folks that we got.
Right.
He was in charge and controlling, for speaking on behalf of millions.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. So he ain't nowhere where you'll get a million Negroes to agree to nothing. Because we can't get 10 Negroes in this city to agree to nothing. Okay. However, had not been for him and what he did do, he did his part because there were others before Martin Luther King. And because Martin Luther King was assassinated when he was 38 years old. So he wasn't here no long time. He was just 38 when they assassinated him for doing the stuff that he was doing. Okay. But then there were other people before him. And black people are the most smartest people around. Look at the things that have been, as what you said, have been invented. Accomplished that we're still living off of today. Light bulbs and all the different stuff.
Green, red,
You know,
yellow,
all this stuff. But it goes back to it goes back to the Negroes in place, in control, vote against it and talk bad about you and then say what you don't deserve and allow the folks to come in and take it and steal it from you. I invented the turkey legs at the State Fair of Texas. It's me. Wasn't no damn turkey leg. There's always Fletcher's Corner Dogs was the highlight. And so I came in 1986. And I told the man that's out there on my thing, he's the chairman of the State Fair today, that I want to start the turkey legs. And do you think I'm getting any kind of royalty from it? Do you think any kind of, if Black Lives Matter, black people ought to start standing up saying, hey, look, this is what we want. You know, and until we demand it, we'll never get it. Until we demand it and be unified, until 1,000 of us one day decide we want such and such on such and such street, and we walk in the city council meeting on 1,000 of us, the white folks gonna be shaking in their boots, and we're gonna get whatever the hell we ask for.
Yeah,
But to not ask for nothing,
so
and you ain't gonna get nothing.
So this is the thing right here that's happening right now that I've identified and I'm seeing this.
Anybody wants some jelly beans? They're good.
Yeah, I need some jelly beans.
These are the best jelly beans in the world.
That's fine. Keep on.
No, these are best.
Bring them on over this way.
No, you don't bring my jelly beans over there. You bring your hand over here. I don't pass the whole thing over there. Yeah, I know you, Shane.
I'm not gonna put my hand in no jelly bean.
Well, I wasn't gonna let you put them in there either.
So that's
I
not.
want to ask one question. Dwayne, no, because Dwayne probably know the answer to that. 'Cause I've been wanting to
Anybody want some more jelly
I wanna
beans?
know if the
You
years
good
we-
ass jelly bean.
I want to know the years. You probably, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. When you said that, I'm trying to remember the year it started. When was it, Dwayne, that we started trying to have a black bank?
Oh, we had a black
Come on,
bank
let's talk.
till
We
the
had a
Negroes
black bank.
stole it.
Whatever happened to that shit?
The Negroes in charge stole the money. They didn't try to even blame some of it on me.
Okay. So this now.
Yeah.
It's called Sunbelt Bank.
I heard so many different shit about it, but
What'd you hear? Put out what you heard.
huh?
Tell us what you heard.
What I heard?
Yeah.
I heard they were stealing.
Okay,
They
call
was
us
taking the
out.
money. I'm gonna tell you what I heard. They
Then
was
what you
taking
heard?
the money.
Good.
But I didn't understand this, man. That should have been the start of a lot of things. That black bank right there. Should
Tell us
have
what
started.
you
Go
heard.
back to what you're talking about. When you want to do what you want to do, you with me? You do it through the black bank. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have a black bank to try to do nothing to them. So the average black person don't have a black bank to do anything.
So there's
to.
this
What happened to the black women? Hold on. He on something that's hot.
Yeah, that's what I've been hot for years. That's
Tell
what-
us what you
that's
heard
what
about
I think
Sunbelt
about.
Bank. What'd you hear about Sunbelt Bank?
Huh?
What'd you hear about Sunbelt Bank?
I heard they were stealing the money.
Who they said was stealing money?
They didn't say no name.
Who's on the board of Sunbelt Bank?
I don't.
Why you gonna crawl up now?
I'm not crawling up. I just don't. What I'm saying, I've heard of different people that was into the bank.
Who was it?
Huh? Where
Who?
now? Where that
Call
at?
their name.
Huh?
That's why we don't get nowhere till you call names.
But wait,
Folks gotta
but what I'm
understand.
saying
She just
is,
told you we gotta communicate. Call their name.
well, we communicate. But I'm
Call
saying,
their name.
no, I can't. do
All right, yeah. I can call some of them. Ebony
Right,
Johnson was
wait.
one of them on the
that.
board.
Wait.
Helen Giddens, all of them. Come on, Al
What
Heron,
I'm
come on,
saying-
Billy Allen, come on, goddamn it, call their name.
Yeah.
Cause that's what the fuck going on. That's why the damn bank went down.
They stole
Yeah, well, you know, whether they stole it or however, they were the ones, some of the ones that were in charge.
See, now-
Okay,
Yeah,
of the bank.
it.
But
We had
Now,
the black-
wait. And then they take a guinea pig and try to cover up their tracks. And I'm sick of these black folks in there covering up their tracks.
Mhm.
They know what the hell going on. They know what they did. They know what contracts they got, and they know how they got them and why they got them. You got elected officials to this very day in this city,
benefiting from thievery.
not just benefiting. No, I'm going to say something else. That don't even speak to one another. They don't even speak to one another. And they represent the same damn district. So it's no reason why we should not have economic development and opportunity. We got a black congresswoman. We got a black state senator. Wait a minute. We got a black council, congresswoman.
We got a white man.
Damn that. Look here. We had all the damn power. We had 5 black city council members. We had a black city attorney. We had a black city secretary. We had a black city manager. We had all the Negroes on the Troy.
But the reason I couldn't call
Jay.
names, man. Wait, the reason I couldn't
What's
the
call
score,
names,
brother?
because that was hearsay.
You heard it, right?
Yeah, but that was
Huh?
that what we said.
Yeah, but let me
right
tell you,
there.
the reason I can't call names
Real money.
because it was all hearsay.
Real
You know,
money.
you can't call people names when you hear, but hearsay. is
Go on
hearsay.
there.
You know, I asked them because I want.
We've been live for
Whatever happened.
an hour and 52 minutes.
But there was only one black
What happened?
owned.
We're waiting on you.
One black owned successful bank in Dallas, and it was the oldest bank black owned in the United States. It was right here in Dallas, Texas.
All those are here.
What was the name of the bank?
It wasn't Medicare, was it?
Nope. It was the Union Bank on Good Latimer and Elm Street. And they
Okay.
tore it down.
Right.
It was up for sale. And I
Turn it on
couldn't buy
live
it
and
because
turn-
the
pull
city
us up, see
council
what
wouldn't
happens.
help me come together to get it. And they sold it for $500,000.
What right on that?
The Union Bank right there on corner of Good Latimer.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't know that was a black
yeah,
bank.
yeah. And it had asbestos. We had the money to go do it, an asbestos abatement for $100,000. Now another one was the bank, was a big old huge hotel.
Republican?
Right, what Mardot had,
The Statler.
the Statler. Bought it for $4 million. But man, thievery. We can't never come together and get nothing.
Why you couldn't get Union Bank? You don't own it.
Yeah, We couldn't get it because that Jewish, there was a Jewish person that was involved in it, and it was Philip Kingston was up in it,
And them
and
the
they
real ones you gotta
finagled
be
it
mad at them too.
and got that building because we were trying to get it, and we had the money to get it.
Well, all you have to do is go to Westlake. Westlake is the one that own the building. They own Union Bank. Westlake own Union Bank.
Hold on. Because I know when I came down there and used to ask people, what can I do about buying property? What property is in the land bank? What property is this and that? It was so hard for me to just get information. And it was people like us that looked like us that were over in charge of that information.
So why didn't you say something about them and get them fired? Oh, yeah.
I did.
No, they still you didn't get it
Yes,
then.
I did.
Well, you didn't
Yes,
get it.
I did, man. Yes, I did. I put
And
that
then
on
you-
I put that on everything I love.
They didn't get fired. Who
They
was
didn't
it?
get-
Call their name.
There was a lady that you took me down with. There was a
Yeah,
lady
y'all
that-
see how we're gonna solve the problem.
there was a
Call the
lady that you
goddamn
took me-
name.
You remember when Rudy's got built?
I built Rudy's.
I know. You remember when
I'm not
there was a
calling
lady, a
you.
black
Yes,
lady,
I'm asking.
that
I
was
heard.
a part of
I'm
it.
not
That
gonna
was,
be putting
was
names
huge
in
on
that.
the city. And then also the city manager. I would go over there and beg him, what can I do to do my part? And buy this and buy that. Even when Joppy, when all that, not Joppy, but the down there by the river bottoms,
The bottom.
was that right there at the bottom?
No,
I
it's at the
couldn't get
bottom.
On the
that.
bottom.
Go
We
to
couldn't
gate.
get, we couldn't get from point A to point B dealing with the city. We could not.
Well, then that you
We
know,
could not.
why?
I don't know why. That's what I'm still asking.
I'm gonna
why.
give you the solution. Why? Because but, hey, listen. Why? Because when you go and they have vote and they don't go and they put their friends down there and you don't hold people accountable and you don't put no bulldog. See, I'm sending a bulldog in the District 4 right now. District 4 is up for election right now. I'm sending a bulldog in there.
I could go down.
Wait a
there
minute.
and
No. Here's the
Yes, I
deal.
could.
No.
Yes, I
Here's,
could.
well, but you didn't.
No, I don't. You know why I don't?
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Well, then, so
Because I don't. I'm giving you. An answer.
if you feel that you can go change it, then do what Martin Luther King did: jump in the middle of the fire
What I'm saying.
and go change it.
But I'm trying to get an answer.
Well, but you can't answer till you decide. You say I'm gonna be a part of it.
I need help.
Well, go. You the leader of other help.
I need a mentor.
You got a mentor,
What's his name?
the Lord.
No.
Well, your mentor tell you to go get in the fight.
So this the deal, right? So the answer, go back to the answer. This right here is this right here, and I'm gonna say this right now. We went down and bought all the property from the Dallas Park, the deck park. When we went and got all that property right there, because we know
Who's calling?
there's going to be economical opportunities, right?
The who now?
Go do this, go do that. We did exactly that. I have asked so
Okay.
many people, how can we get our food trucks there?
Mm-hmm.
Many times, till this day.
So hold
We
on.
can't
No,
get in there.
hold on 1 minute. I'm in a board meeting,
Okay,
live board meeting.
that's
now.
real talk.
But yeah, do
The
this.
Asian
Do
guy
this.
down there, the Asian guy.
Don't you have
$4
my
million
credit
worth
card
of
on file?
Right. He said,
Okay.
"Man,
Well, let me
get
give it
this,
to you. I'll give it to you
we'll
for
get
Friday
the
morning.
opportunity to
Then we'll
get
get
some
married
stores
out the
and
way.
you can represent the stores.
We'll do
I
that.
even went to some
Yeah,
old
call me.
heads that are 80 years old.
Yeah,
You know,
just,
that say,
no, call me
we're
Friday
going out there.
morning.
All
You
they got
post,
me
but
going out
I'm
there
just
is
in
to
a
have
meeting.
meetings and waste my damn time.
Post it for Friday morning.
They just want their
Early.
time is come and gone. They just want to be relevant and stuff, and they don't want to bring
Okay.
nothing to the
And
table.
then
I'm
we
like,
can post
yo,
it then.
you know what I'm saying? You retired, you got $8,000 coming each month, you got everything, whatever. But every time I go to a meeting, there's nothing that is being exercised on a positive note, other than you just wasting your time and just wanting to be there.
We'll go to the meeting.
Yeah, go to meetings. I'm sitting up here asking for help for 2 years, wasting my damn time in my life. You know, trying to do my due diligence. Hey, and I just been bing bong, bing bong. When it come down to us, we get bing bong, bing bong. As soon as I go to them, here you go. This is what you got. Boom, 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 boom. You got some money. Yeah, here it is. Boom, boom. Okay, dude, you good? Good. We have to go to we too scared to make decisions. We too scared to pull a trigger and do it. Like the mayor right now. This mayor right there took all of us to vote him in, and as soon as he got in,
What man? Were you pointing over here at me? I ain't doing no shit like
with the
that.
Hunt's money, with you know what?
Wait a minute. Hold.
And then took Hunt's
People
money
might
and
not
turned
understand
around
that.
and
People might
turned
not
around.
understand that. People might not understand. I want you to slow down. You was talking about another mayor, right?
I'm talking about the mayor that's in now.
Yeah, but you was
What's
pointing
his
over
name?
here at me.
Well, no,
Well,
I
people
didn't
might
point over you.
misinterpret that. I want you to clear that up.
over there.
I want you to clear that up.
Okay, well, they're not you.
Well, clear it up
No,
again.
I'm saying this, the mayor. What's the mayor's name? That's in
Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson. Let me tell you what he
went
done did.
Republican.
Clear that shit
Well,
up.
that's what I'm saying. What did he go? He don't went what?
He went Republican.
Okay, then who and who gave him the money? Who was the biggest donator that gave him the money? Mr. Hunt.
Okay.
Okay, and the paroles and all them, right?
Well, y'all should have
So,
known
so
that
the
was
thing
gonna
about
happen.
it
That's
is,
Dallas.
so, what I'm talking about, the biggest.
Yeah,
Listen. I'm in development at times, right? The most expensive property in the United States of America, and you can Google this, is in Dallas, Texas, and it's in South Dallas.
Okay.
That's the biggest boom. So isn't it ironic that Mark Cuban buying all that property over there, the Paroles buying all that property over there, the Hunts buying all that property over there, everything's taking place.
Who they buying it from?
Him.
They buying it from people that I've been trying to buy it and giving them a fair dollar, but they said no, and then they let the other folks come up in there and buy it for nothing.
Who you trying to buy it from? Be more
I'm trying to
specific.
buy it from everybody. People
Okay.
that I don't know. I don't know these people. I knock on the
What's,
door.
what's
and they
their
look at me like I'm
ethnicity?
an alien.
What
They
was
just
their
came up-
ethnicity?
Go ahead.
What was their ethnicity?
Repeat that one more time.
What was their ethnicity?
Was it black?
They were black.
Okay, that's what ethnicity. Okay.
What we talking
So-
about?
so you went and knocked on
Ain't
the-
this thing? Ain't this panel about solutions?
Yeah, but you gotta. The
So
only way
what
you
I'm
can do the
saying-
solution is that you
I'm
got to
saying
put
when
the
I
complete problem out
Okay,
there.
so in South Dallas, predominantly at the time,
All right.
predominantly are people of color. What people of color are more African Americans. Okay, that's how I'm putting it out there.
Okay.
Knock on the door. We're talking about solutions here, and this is why we don't get anywhere. We have a government officials, not all government officials, but like you said, we had a predominantly government officials that are elected to help the people, for the people. People like myself that are qualified, that want to participate in giving back to the community, were denied small information that would have been able to help the vision to build something that reflects people of color. It's so hard. You can't even get a
Panama.
we can't even get the right information
Panama.
to get a food truck out there
Whose fault is that?
on a part that you
Who-
made happen.
Whose fault is that?
Shit, the elected official that's in there.
Okay. Now,
I'm trying.
well, put it out there the way it is. But let's be real.
Okay.
You own Big Club downtown.
I have no big club no more.
Wait,
because of
wait.
the elected
I said you owned
yeah.
ED,
Okay.
a big club downtown.
Yeah.
It was called Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Okay.
Yeah.
The big time business,
Big time.
millions of dollars,
Absolutely.
and you got shut
3, 4,
down.
5,
Wait,
6,000
and you got shut down.
Yes.
Hold it. Now, the way the story went
Uh-huh.
was that during the Grand Prairie game,
Uh-huh.
somebody,
Uh-huh.
I'm going somewhere with this now.
Who are you going with?
Somebody went outside
And
or
got
was
shot.
was
They
outside
got killed.
and got shot and got killed.
Correct.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It did not happen inside of Purgatory. It happened, huh? Correct.
It did not happen outside.
Wait a minute.
nor
Hold,
inside.
hold on. It did not happen inside of Purgatory.
Correct.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it happened somewhere in the downtown area of Purgatory, where somewhere.
Sure. A mile away.
Wherever it was.
A mile away.
Doesn't matter. I
A mile away.
Oh, wait, I ain't gonna say that.
I'm
Here's the
gonna say
deal.
that.
Well, you say all you want. Here's the deal. But it happened outside somewhere in the vicinity. I'm going somewhere with this now.
Okay.
In the vicinity
Okay.
of Purgatory.
What's the
Now,
vicinity?
come on, Panama. Shit,
Okay,
now.
go ahead.
Just don't stop me no more because I have to start over. Now, here's the deal. Now, here's my point. And the city came and put it and blamed it all on Purgatory. The news will reflect that the big shooting took place and purgatory, yada yada yada.
Purgatory.
I might be mispronouncing it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, but that's what took place, and that's what was a part that they affixed to your operation of business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so then they come in and start harassing and doing all this stuff to you, and they were using the umbrella of the fact that a shooting took place. There's a bad place to be going, and there's a nuisance and all this. Right. Okay. Now they shut you down, but guess where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's another facility over in South Dallas that had the same similar incident over off of Elsie Faye Higgins and Sydney. Okay. Someone got shot somewhere over in that area, down the street from that, and they affixed that shooting and attached it to the club on Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're messing with them and want them to tear it down and shut it down. Where I'm going with this is down in D-Bell, they're down there getting shot every goddamn weekend.
Just somebody got
Just
shot.
got shot.
Friday night.
Just got shot
Last
Friday
night,
night.
they got murdered.
Just got shot Friday night. And the week before that, they got killed down in D-Bell. And before that, they was killed in D-Bell. And before that, they was shot. And all that. Wait a minute. Here's my point, though. But ain't nobody trying to shut them down because they ain't of color.
That's right.
That's why I went through all that to only say and to show the fact that if you are a business person of color,
right,
then you're going to have more concerns placed on you and restrictions placed on you. Okay.
Right.
The reason that they came up with the special use permit and all of that stuff was to control, okay, the who that could. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, wow. But no, you can rebut in a minute. I gotta make sure everybody understands.
Mr. Trump, I got to rebuttal this.
Okay,
I got to answer this, Mr. Trump.
Wait a minute.
I want to rebuttal
Don't
this.
fuck with me now. Don't fuck with me with that. You make me have to use some vulgar language now.
Before I lose my chain of thought, I want to address that because I'm
No,
forget.
wait a minute. Hold on.
Forget, though.
Wait a minute. Now you apologize calling me Mr. Trump.
I'm going to Thurwood March. Can I get to this, Mr.
I gotta walk out a minute. I gotta see.
No,
Hold on, Darren, before you go. Here I come.
Which one thing though?
I'm gonna let you. You know,
Under that,
call me Mr. Trump.
What I'm saying during that tenor.
I'm gonna call you Gets.
Call me whatever. During that tenor.
Call you.
During that tenor, it was predominantly all of us on that city council. Why did y'all? Why? I'm not saying you.
Well, you said y'all.
Mr. Marshall. What I'm saying, why did they let us down?
Because they did not have the backbone that I had. And I've demonstrated that's why they sent my black ass to jail, because I stood up for black people and the little bitty black people that was doing wrong. Now here's this, and it didn't stand up for me. That's first time I'm gonna say this. When I got in my shit, who came to my rescue? Who said, hey, free Dwayne? Who said, hey, y'all doing him wrong? Who said, hey, look, y'all should be doing it? These motherfuckers was quiet. They was quiet, okay? And now they can't stop it now, because I'm back. And the grace of God sent me back to allow me to continue to do the things I was doing. But he put all those obstacles that we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
All the obstacles were placed in front of me. But guess what? I crossed over every one of the obstacles, and I could not do it without God.
Right.
And so here's all the deal. But hey, I'm exposing them.
That's right.
So you hear me tell you call names. You hear me talking.
Names.
Hey, I call goddamn names.
All of them.
Hey.
I want to hear all the names.
Hey,
I want to see all the skeletons. I want to hear names.
Yeah.
And skeletons. You would sit back there and set up that name. God damn it. You give me the goddamn name. Give me the God Damn it! I want to know the goddamn
I
name.
bet one day, I bet I call more goddamn names in here in this conversation.
I want to know the goddamn
What you
name. The name. I named them all now. Yes, I
No, you
did.
didn't. You
I'm
named
so
one
goddamn.
name.
I'm so goddamn red. Right. I want to know name and time. Yeah.
You don't know the skeleton.
Yeah. I want to where they buried at.
You don't know the skeleton. The skeleton's
I want to know who the Undertaker was.
But he right about that. When you went to Michelle down thing, you know,
Man, them some bitches, man, cost me. I'm telling you about 100 million.
And then I went to Pray the Tour. You had a lot of rich white boys down.
I had everything.
Like-
I made sure. No, I had everything for everybody in every culture. Made sure.
Yeah.
I had a night for everybody. I had LGBT. I had the black, Hispanic. I had white.
right.
I had Indian. That was a place that you know that I 5,000-6,000. It was everybody
Yeah.
down there. And the thing about it is this what I'm saying is I try my best to be conscious of not just black people, Hispanic people, all
Everybody.
people, and everybody's belief, because everybody's belief has a right to have their own belief. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever they want to do in life, that they can do. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're not breaking this or breaking that, you know what I mean? I'm good with it. But the thing about it is that we talk about, well, why are young people this way? Why the reason why people are, you gotta blame it on the predecessors, the people who came before them. You know what I'm saying? If my son act the fuck up, it's because I allowed him to act the fuck up.
Right.
If my daughter is out there doing something, it's because I didn't teach her the way that I needed to teach her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the whole thing. It's a trickle down effect. You know, just like you know.
Let me ask you one question. You was on Deep Ellum?
Yeah, I was in Deep Ellum. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever, now you probably didn't know this question. Did you ever know Harvey Martin?
You know Harvey Martin.
Okay, let me tell you something.
The
Years ago,
football player, Harvey
Yeah,
Martin.
that's right.
Yeah, you know Harvey. He got a daughter.
That's right. Let me tell you why.
And they buried him, and they buried him, and there weren't too many people. They buried him in Garland.
Yeah, but let me ask you. I'll tell you something about that.
Mhm.
At that time, I gotta put it, I was making money. I was doing good. Okay? But just saying, back in the day.
Yeah.
Harvey, we both went to Deep Ellum. Before Deep Ellum,
Mhm.
fixed up like this.
Mhm.
He said, "Look, y'all. Yeah. I want to put a club like that's why I asked y'all, where did you know him?"
Mhm.
He said, "I want to put a club like this." He said, "What do you think?" I said, "Hey man, what you showing me looks good." I said, "I see a possibility of all this happening." This way before it did anything.
Mhm.
We was in Deep Ellum.
Mhm.
You with me?
Yeah.
And at that time, I got twisted around with some more people in a different deal. Then I lost a lot of money. I
Mhm.
was $18,000, which is a lot of money to me. At that time, I didn't need to lose that kind of money.
Mhm.
But I did. But I asked you that for a reason because he had a vision, man,
Mhm.
of Deep Ellum. That's what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
He let me in on this vision,
Yeah.
but I didn't capitalize on it like I should have
Right.
at that time. You with me?
Yeah.
Because I was too busy listening to this other ear over here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's why I asked you, because it made me say, "Well, I ain't gonna get he blessed with me." And you said you remember how he had a vision. And this can't remember the white guy, man. And we all met up down there. It was on that side. Now they got everything now.
Mhm.
And right now today, I hate I didn't make a decision back then
Mhm.
with him.
To buy the building.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. But that's one, and that ain't gonna fuck up out of minute. I fuck up some more shit. But I'm just saying, see, Dwayne know me back then, man. I mean, it was, but it was different then.
Yeah.
If you had came back then in the '60s, with the idea and everything, you got
Oh man. You see
you had to have a big man.
Well, I
was
see,
you had
this the whole deal, man. I had I was making more money than anybody in Deep Ellum. I was on the toll road and Beltline. We were the number one sellers of everything. Red Bull, liquor in the not in the state, but in the country. We was on the top of everything.
Okay.
You know, I brought Mike Tyson in. Everybody from Lady Gaga to be on. You can name it. You know, the problem was this right here is that I would come in when I had issues, I'd come to Dwayne and say, man, this is what's going on, man.
Yeah, we want to come.
And I'm talking about everything that I talked about, we would go. And those same people would look at me and I tell them, look, we people of color, this is what we're going through. You got elected to do something. None of them did shit. Not Tanel, not his frat brother. He had a frat brother up in there. What's his name? I can't think. There's, you know, none of them. None of them. He'll not when I tell you none of them, I mean none of them. None. Well, Alex was before us. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Before that.
I'm a little before you. See, I'm
before me.
yeah, I'm so Dwayne.
What we were talking about with the Tanel area.
I just look young.
Yeah, but none, all of them.
Right.
All of
Well, I
them.
know about that. That's the same thing he said
And,
a few minutes ago when he,
They didn't
you
do
know,
nothing.
he could have named their.
They didn't do that. But the thing about it is they knew it.
Yeah.
They knew it. They knew it. I still haven't recovered from that.
But that make no sense now when we go back to the conversation earlier.
Yeah.
When by the time the money get through there,
It's gone.
it's gone. It's stolen.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I can speak on situation, but it's not.
It's
just
just
not-
when I talked about the back,
It's just- But this,
I never did it.
but
Yeah.
But I did.
but our stealing is different than they steal.
Mm-hmm.
Our stealing is we steal a little, and we tell on each other, and we get locked the hell up. They steal generational wealth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And because they
They can't rebound.
They
They can rebound.
They pay us for the lookout.
Yeah.
Being a lookout.
We don't
Being a
rebound.
lookout.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a problem? He your color. You got a problem? You need to go over there.
Yeah.
And talk
I
to him.
heard really.
That's how that shit-
We don't have that many opportunities. We had one shot, and if we messed that one shot up, we messed up. But they got 3, 4, 5, and 6. They got opportunities.
Put them under the different names.
Yeah, quick.
LLCs
and switch up and bankrupt. And
But
we go to jail for the same thing.
I tell you this, I gotta go check on my sister after a while.
But you know what? We got to learn the banking system. We got to learn to create our own banking. We got to
But
learn.
this is what I was
We
hitting
got to
on.
learn trust.
We
gotta
know-
learn.
See, she's going back to what I.
Yeah, we
That's
know
why I
that,
came
but
on
we
the
ain't
same
gonna
thing.
implement it.
Yeah, but I'm saying we have to learn because if we learn, all you need is get you a trust, get you all this different type of stuff. Learn how to utilize insurance instead of thinking insurance is when you die.
The problem is we know it.
Mhm.
We know all the information. What we don't do is we don't share it. And then when we start
Yeah.
benefiting from it, we ain't gonna tell this other company, hey man, you can open up your own bank and do it like that because we want it all for ourselves. They think we think if we give you the answer,
You gonna take over.
you're gonna take over
Yeah.
and just kick us to the curb. And that's true.
Yeah.
Because I gave a lot of us the formula, and them same people I gave the formula to, they ain't willing to help me get back in the game for nothing.
Yeah,
Because they
That's what
fear
I'm
me.
talking about.
yeah,
And that's real truth, man.
and it be
I
real.
wish
but-
I'd known you back then.
Yeah.
You know me now.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got paintings to sell, great paintings, beautiful paintings.
Yeah.
If you know anybody looking for paintings and stuff like that,
Chad, you take the thumbnail out of the.
Yes, sir. And you want me? I'm gonna put the other picture.
Oh, okay. So you did take it out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I was just.
Thought somebody stole it.
Yeah, I know. You had your art shows.
yeah, on the 22nd, I got a celebrate.
We,
Yeah.
man, yeah, you.
Yeah.
Said, I'm telling you, like,
Nice meeting you.
And that-
I done met
I
you
know I have a singing. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say nothing.
No,
Yeah.
Panama. You know what? But you know what? A
Yeah.
great idea you had.
Uh-huh.
That podcast.
I got I want somebody. I'm going to do a podcast. The problem is I don't know if they got enough room up in here to do the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
we got a new room. Have you seen it?
Yeah, but but I'm saying how much? What's the proceeds and all that? See, I don't know. I need to put somebody over that to produce that. You know what I'm saying? Me and Anthony Dorsett will come in here and do what we do, right?
Uh huh.
The problem is I don't know how to. I know